Up tonight as we had last night. Pinstripes all the way around. Mets in their traditional home white pinstripes, and the Padres in the road brown and sand pinstripes. Trying to get back on track against the left-hander Peterson, ready to go. He will turn and deliver, and a first pitch fastball misses up and away to Tatis. 1 ball and no strikes. Fernando 0 for 4 in the game last night. 1 hit away from a new career high. 149 hits on the season. 1-0, and Tatis lines it into left field, a base hit. There it is. First time in his career, 150 hits in a season, and a leadoff single here in the top of the first inning as the Padre offense tries to get in gear right off the bat. That was the Padres' first hit of the game, brought to you by Frozen Ropes Travel Ball. Free tryouts are underway for ages 7 to 14 with Coach Kurt and his Frozen Ropes team. Check them out at SanDiegoFrozenRopes.com. That's SanDiegoFrozenRopes.com. Luis Arraez stands in, lefty to lefty. The third baseman, Beatty, in on the grass. Luis does show bunt, pulls back, and takes low ball 1.
Love to see Toddy sticking with what he has been doing, stayed with the short step, hammers that ball in the left field. And if you start looking at his numbers, he's got career highs in quite a few categories.
1-0 to Arraez. Peterson comes home. Luis does bunt at it and hits it on the ground foul towards Machado on deck area left side. So 1-1 to Arraez. And the Padres, look, they will bunt. We have known it pretty much each of the last several months at this point. And Mike Schilt was asked a question about it before the game today. He gave one of his really nice, long, deep answers about why the Padres have as many sacrifice bunts as they do, far and away the most in all of Major League Baseball. And one of those reasons could very well be at play right here with Arraez against the tough lefty. Luis pulls back, takes in the dirt, ball 2.
And this is what a lot of people, I think, have a hard time kind of grasping. You know, there are times, even when the best of the best are uncomfortable in the box against a specific pitcher. And in those cases, the Padres hitters are being allowed to kind of make a decision for themselves if they feel that need to drop a bunt down and maybe move a runner.
Luis does not show bunt. Now he takes outside. So with all that going on, he's got himself ahead in the count, 3-1. Arraez 1 for 6 in his career against Peterson. Luis also right now striking out a little bit more regularly than at any other point this year. So you might surmise, all right, he's not feeling great at the dish. What can I do to help the team? 3-1 pitch is outside ball 4. That's one thing he can do. Draw a walk, move the line, and the Padres now 2 on and nobody out in the top of the first inning for Manny Machado.
That's an unselfish act. It might not be the sexiest thing on the field, but nonetheless, it's proved productive. Luis Arraez drawing a walk here, first and second, no outs for Manny Machado.
It is not, at the end of the day, a beauty pageant.
No, it's about winning.
You're just trying to win a game, especially on September 17th. Padres 2 back of the Dodgers still in the West as Manny takes a fastball strike on the outside corner. Cubs won earlier today. They clinched a playoff spot. And certainly if the Padres are going to host a wild card series at this point, probably going to have to overtake the Dodgers in the NL West. That is not a mathematical fact, but it is just kind of where things are right now. 2 on, nobody out, just underway. And Manny hits a slow topper to third base, charged by Beatty. Only play going to be to first. Throw there is in time to get Machado. Both runners advance. So Arraez at second, Tatis at third, 1 away. Gavin Sheets coming up. And the Padre cleanup hitter brought to you by Asgard Energy. Get $2,000 off solar until September 30th and secure the 30% tax credit that ends this year. Save on your energy bill at AsgardEnergy.com. Veteran and locally owned Asgard Energy, your trusted name in solar. So a productive out by Manny Machado as Gavin Sheets stands in. 0 for 3 with a walk last night. And he swings at the first pitch, trying to dump one into shallow center. Mullins on the move, will get there. He makes the catch. Tatis is tagging. The throw home is up the third base line. And a sac fly for Gavin Sheets as the Padres strike first 1-0 here in the top half of the first inning.
So first, the goatee buys itself some life. Second, great job by Toddy reading that baseball off the bat. He could have very well gotten off too far, but instead he immediately got back to the bag. And even though Mullins had to come in to make the play, put himself in position to tag. He scores. Padres lead 1-0.
So they have absolutely manufactured a run here. Now looking for some more with Arraez at second base, 2 outs. Ramon Laureano will be the batter. Laureano doubled in 4 trips last night, but the Padres did not have a hit with a runner in scoring position. Not that they had a lot of opportunities, 0 for 2. First pitch on the way, and Laureano takes a little bit outside. That was the curveball from Peterson, 1-0. So a single, a walk, a productive ground ball out, and a sac fly, coupled with some good base running, as you pointed out. And the Padres have the first run of the night. 1-0 to Laureano. Here's the pitch. And Ramon flinches and takes the changeup for a strike, 1-1. Another thing to keep in mind all night long as Peterson is out there. He is one of these ground ball machines. He's a true sinker ball pitcher. And he often tries to use that ground ball to get himself out of trouble. He has rolled about as many double plays as anybody in the league this year. 1-1, Laureano takes in the dirt, spits away from Alvarez, but not far enough for Arise to try and advance. And Luis will just jog back into second base. It has been a rough go as of late for Peterson. In his last 7 starts, his ERA is over 7. And in perhaps a related note, more innings pitched this year than any season of his entire professional career. Always something to be aware of when you get to this point in the calendar. Here's the 2-1. Laureano on the ground, chops it right to shortstop. Lindor will gobble it up with the bright orange cleats, and the throw to first is in time to end the top of the first inning. Padres get a run on a hit. They leave Arise at second base, and it's the Padres 1.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 19...
The Pets go.
Francisco Lindor, Juan Soto, Pete Alonso coming up for the Mets at the bottom of the first inning against Nick Pivetta. Padres with a 1-0 lead, and a switch-hitting Lindor batting left-handed leads back from a high fastball, 1-0 from Pivetta. Nick has seen the Mets a decent amount over the years, though, mostly as a Philly early on in his career. First season with the Padres after a run in Boston, and a career year for Pivetta as Lindor pops one up, foul ground third base. Good amount of room over there as Manny heads towards the dugout, and with 1 foot on the side, warning track, he makes the catch. 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. Mention the cloudy skies and the rain in the vicinity. Weather holding up for the moment, and the game time temperature 68 degrees. Brought to you by Lineage Watch Company, San Diego's very own watch brand, and the official timepiece of the Padres radio network. 40 years today at lineagewatchco.com. That's lineagewatchco.com. Here is Juan Soto sitting on 40 homers and 98 RBIs in his first year as a Met, and he takes a fastball strike. 0-1, and I tell you what, 1 through 3, even 1 through 4 if you like, in the batting order for the Mets. You get a pretty good idea of just exactly how they've got the second most home runs in the National League. 0-1, way high, and a ball and a strike to Soto. That was a curveball. It didn't curve.
Even as you start working into the bottom of the lineup, 17, 12, they're pretty thick in the home run category.
One out, nobody on. 1-0 Padres, bottom of the first inning. Ball and a strike to Soto. The pitch. Kind of a half swing on a ball up. They appeal to third. He did not go. And the count will swing in Juan's favor. 2 balls and a strike. Alonso has 35. Soto has 40. Only the third pair of Mets ever to have 35 or more home runs in the same season. 2-1. Soto takes the curve. That drops in for a strike. And the count evens 2-2. Hadn't happened since 06 when Beltran and Delgado did it. The only other time prior to that, 1987, Hojo, Howard Johnson, and Darryl Strawberry each had at least 35 home runs.
Elite company there. That got the high curveball strike. You don't see it called very often in this league.
Speaking of the 80s. 2-2 to Soto. Nick is ready. Here's the pitch, and Soto gets the curve again. This time it misses a little bit too far up. And the count will fill 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Just IQ pitching there from Pivetta. Tried to expand it a little bit further up above the zone. That time did not get the call.
3-2, the pitch on the way, and Soto lines it into right center field. It'll hang up. Jackson Merrill gets to it, and he makes the catch for the second out of the inning.
Tripled up on the curveball there. That time Soto prepared, but hits it right at Jackson Merrill for out number 2.
So here is Pete Alonso. He has homered each of the last 2 games for the Mets. Walked off on Sunday against the Rangers, and then the long solo homer to left center in the second inning last night. 35 on the season to go with 118 RBIs. He's also their leading hitter. And Alonso takes a fastball top of the zone for a strike. And boy, if that part of the zone is open for Pivetta tonight, it will be very much to his advantage. Chris Siegel, the home plate umpire.
Could be a long evening for the Mets if he's going to get that strike all day.
Pitch here is down, and the count evens 1-1. See, Alonso hitting .268 to lead the team, 35 home runs. Second to Soto, 118 RBIs. That leads the team. 37 doubles. That leads the team. 1-1, Pivetta delivers, and Alonso swings, pops it up, foul ground first base. Arise over to the Met dugout, running out of room. He'll reach into the dugout, but he won't have a play. It was pretty far behind him, and it'll just be a foul ball and a strike. Jonah Tong, the rookie Met pitcher who's going to start here tomorrow, is the guy closest to where Luis ended up. I don't imagine they really know each other, but Luis kind of playfully tapping him on the hat before he walks away, and Tong looked up at him like a 12-year-old kid would look up at a big leaguer giving him attention. 1-2, and Alonso in the air to deep left center field. Oh, my goodness, he's done it again. 3 straight games with a home run for Pete Alonso. That's his 36th of the year, and this one ties it up 1-1 in the bottom of the first inning.
If you're going to challenge Pete Alonso up, you got to make sure you get it up enough. Particularly up above the zone if you can. That one, a strike at the top of the zone. Pete Alonso continues his torrid home run pace. 36th of the year. Ties this game in 1.
Yeah, that location for the fastball is an invitation for trouble against a guy like that.
There's top of the zone and there's not quite top of the zone. That landed in the not quite top of the zone area.
The danger zone.
Indeed.
From Pivetta's perspective. So here's Nimmo. With 2 outs, nobody on. 1-1 game, bottom of the first inning. Well, nobody said it was going to be easy. And I mean that in the broadest sense possible in this final week and a half of the season. First pitch, curveball for a strike. Got it right down to the knees against the left-hand hitting Nimmo. 0-1. Nimmo 2 for 4 last night, an RBI single, a run, couple of strikeouts, having another rock-solid year in the middle of their lineup. 0-1 pitch, Nimmo pops it up, foul ground third base, Manny across the line, looking for it, long way to go on the side, warning track, he's there with just enough space to make the catch and end the inning. Mets get 1 on the Alonso homer, and we go to the second inning at Citi Field. 1-1.
Introducing baseball's all-new national pregame show.
kind of doing it the way they've been doing it all year. Padres manufactured a run in their half of the first. Mets got a homer in their half. Now Jackson Merrill leads off against Peterson, lefty to lefty, and he swings and misses at a good slider. Strike one. Jackson has homered in each of the last 3 games. It has been a while since a Padre has homered in 4 straight. Pitch is way outside, 1-1. Also doubled yesterday now. Home runs in 5 out of his last 9 games. But you got to go back 4 years for the last time that a Padre homered in 4 straight games. And if you're thinking Machado or Tatis, you are not on the right track. Ground ball foul behind home plate, 1-2. The last Padre to homer in 4 straight, Jacob Cronenworth in 2021. Merrill will be followed by Iglesias, who's going to get a great ovation, and Cronenworth. 1-2 pitch, and Jackson knocks it foul over the Padre dugout on the left side, still 1-2.
Slider heavy so far to Jackson Merrill. 3 of 4 have been the slide piece.
Peterson, the tall left-hander, turns and delivers, and Merrill again knocks it foul into the netting behind the home plate area. Still a ball and 2 strikes. Jackson hitting .261 now, up to 14 home runs, 61 runs batted in, and what has been kind of an injury-interrupted second season. But rounding into form here. 1-2 cracked foul on the ground underneath the feet of the first base coach, David Macias, who's in on the goatee thing, by the way. Tony referenced it with Sheets earlier. It started with Jackson Merrill. Came back from the IL with a goatee, and he's trying to make it a thing. Emphasis on trying. Very limited success. 1-2 is way up and in. He leans back, and it goes to the backstop. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sheets, his Baltimore buddy, all in. Although, as you said, for the moment.
For the moment. It's teetering right now. And you know this is all connected to hits. Jackson didn't come out with the goatee. It wasn't until he started raking, the goatee was right there along with it.
And so then, obviously, it becomes a thing.
It's here to stay at this point.
2-2. Merrill checks, takes low ball 3. So, yeah, he's got David Macias on board. He's got Ben Fritz, the bullpen coach, on board.
Fritzy has no problem. Dave, on the other hand, the sides are trying to connect themselves.
3-2. And Merrill off the handle into shallow left center field. That's down and another base hit. Leadoff single here in the second inning of a tie game as Merrill battled with Peterson, able to elevate, shows off the goatee to his teammates. And for the second consecutive inning, Padres begin the inning with a base hit.
I referenced it at the beginning of this ball game, this offense getting back to those type of at-bats. That was a battle AB from Jackson Merrill before he finished it off with a single. 9 pitches.
Very nice ovation for Iglesias, who was really one of the totems of the Met season a year ago. Starting here tonight at shortstop, takes a fastball strike, 0-1, right at the top of the zone. Jackson tried to get Machado, by the way, in on the goatee thing, and Manny, very self-aware about his ability to grow facial hair, declined the invitation. 0-1. The Iglesias little topper back towards the mound. Peterson has it, left of the hill, scoops it up, and throws Iglesias out 1 away, but there you go, a productive out to move Merrill to second base. The aforementioned Jake Cronenworth coming to bat. Top of the second, brought to you by Simley Food. Ignite your taste buds with the freshest flavors at Simley Food. Discover authentic ingredients at 4665 El Cajon Boulevard, the Cook's Asian Resources. You can grow a pretty good goatee.
Yes.
I am on the Manny camp. Cronenworth, who just declined outright, even though he can do it, grounds one foul right side. Jake said something, I think, along the lines of, I'm on my own program.
It sounds like Jake. Listen, everybody's superstition is different. Right now, the young Merrill going for broke with the goatee.
He came back at one point earlier this year clean-shaven for the first time in his major league career. And, I mean, he didn't look really young, but he looked like 11.
Yeah.
And it was almost like unmooring your sense of reality. 0-1 to Cronenworth with Merrill at second. And Jake lines one softly into center field. Another jam shot. It'll get down to the base hit. Jackson's on his way. Mullins' throw will go to second. Great read by Merrill. And an RBI single from Cronenworth to put the Pods back ahead. It's 2-1.
That's twice now. Padres taking advantage of the read off the bat. This is not an easy read. It's a jam shot. Kind of hangs up in the air. But Merrill was all over it. He knew exactly where Mullins was. Didn't hesitate as he's able to come around third to give the Padres a 2-1 lead.
And again, that is the offensive identity of the 2025 Padres, having success doing things like that. So Cronenworth at first, one out. Elias Diaz the batter, and he takes high, ball one. How about this? Elias Diaz is the only guy on the Padre roster to have ever homered against David Peterson. 1 for 3 in his career against him with that home run. Freddie Fermin started the game last night behind the dish, hit a home run in the 8th inning. 1-0 pitch on the way, and Diaz hits a ground ball to third base. Big hop for Beatty, goes to second, that's one. McNeil's turn is just in time, and there is the 20th ground ball double play of the season, rolled by David Peterson. 1 run, 2 hits, nobody left, and in the middle of the second.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager.
Padres ahead of the Mets 2-1 as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Nick Pivetta allowed a solo homer to Alonso in the first. Here he will deal with Starling Marte, Jeff McNeil, and Brett Beatty. Marte, the only change in the lineup for Carlos Mendoza's Mets from Game 1 to Game 2. They had Vientos as the designated hitter last night, and now Marte here this evening. Big guy, a switch hitter, batting right-handed, shows bunt, pulls back, and takes high, ball one. Marte, when healthy over the course of his career, really just one of the most ferocious offensive players in the game, but health has been a major problem over the years. Ball high, 2-0, 91 games this season, hitting .275, 8 homers, 32 runs batted in. He will turn 37 years old coming up in a few weeks. Still looks like he always looked on the outside. How's this one back 2-1, but as we know, the older you get, things start changing a little bit on the inside.
Yeah. You can fake it on the outside. He still looks the part. But at the age of 37, Mets having to find ways to try to keep him as healthy as possible.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fouls it back 2-2. Great base stealer in his prime. 7 out of 9 this year, but still Starling Marte, more career stolen bases than any active player in all of Major League Baseball. Padres up 2-1. as Marte leads off here in the second inning. And the 2-2 pitch is right down the middle at the bottom of the zone. Strike 3 called. First K of the day for Nick Pivetta as he punches out Marte with a well-located fastball.
Don't think he was looking for that. Typically, the fastball is near the top of the zone. This one at the knees. And Marte frozen there for out number 1.
Now the left-handed hitting Jeff McNeil. Great career numbers against Pivetta for whatever that's worth. And a first pitch curveball for a strike, 0-1. He is starting a game against them, though, Pivetta, for the first time since 2021. So it's been a little bit here, but McNeil 5 out of 10 with a homer, 2 doubles. Watches a curveball bounce in front of the plate, and boy, it came up and caught the home plate umpire, Chris Siegel, maybe in the throat.
Yeah, it looked like it got up underneath him. It was a curveball that was well short, and Diaz tried to pick it. It looked like it got up underneath the mask of Chris Siegel.
Taking a look at the replay now. And the good news, I think, is that it did not get under the mask, but it did catch him, at the bottom of the mask there. I think it deflected off Diaz, and it squarely hit the bottom of his mask. He immediately went down to a knee.
You often may wonder when you're watching umpires, they have that kind of piece that hangs off the bottom of their mask, and that's exactly, I think, why that piece hangs off. It ended up protecting him from getting hit in the throat, kind of having that piece there.
Telling everybody he's okay. The Mets athletic trainer came out to check on him along with the other 3 umpires. And home plate umpires are a lot like catchers. They never seem to want the game held up on their on their watch. But the other 3 guys are going to really check and make sure he's good to go. Maybe asking him what his middle name is, that sort of thing. But they're kind of chuckling and laughing down there. And the crew chief, Alan Porter, who's at second base tonight, just spending another little bit of a moment there to make sure his guy is okay. And now the other 3 umpires will head back to their spots on the diamond. Anytime you see a guy staggered down to a knee after a ball catches him in the face or head area, you certainly want to make sure everything's good to go, and apparently it is. So McNeil will get back in the box. Count is 1-1 with 1 out and nobody on. Padres ahead of the Mets 2-1 in the bottom of the second inning. Another big crowd here at Citi Field tonight. Yesterday they called it just under 42,000. 1-1 the pitch. McNeil scoots back, takes the fastball inside. 2-1 now from Pivetta. Nick ready, he'll kick and deliver. And this pitch misses outside, so he's gone 3-1 on Jeff McNeil. Nick through last Wednesday night at home against Cincinnati. He was brilliant, 7 shutout innings, but did not factor into the decision. Here's the 3-1. McNeil takes a strike. That was the night a bunch of the high leverage guys were not available for the Padres, so Pivetta gave him 7 shutout innings, but the offense only gave him 1 run of support, and they tried to piece it together with Kyle Hart and Adrian Morejon. Those guys each allowed just the 1 run, but that was enough, as Cincinnati won the game 2-1. 3-2 pitch is hit on a line to deep right center field. Long run barrel into the gap. He gets there to make the over-the-shoulder catch on the warning track for the second out of the inning. He gave it a ride, but Merrill able to track it down.
Crisp route there from Merrill. This ball's hit on a line, and one misstep could have made this a much more difficult play, but the route to the baseball is perfect as Jackson able to track it down for out number 2.
So 2 outs, nobody on. Padres ahead 2-1. And Brett Beatty will be the batter, left-hand hitting third baseman, and the subject of our stat of the day. Swings to the first pitch. He hits one in the air, high and deep to right center. Merrill back, not going to catch this one as it bounces up against the wall. Jackson fires into second base, but Beatty will slide in feet first with a 2-out double. One of the hard-hit balls here in this second inning against Nick Pivetta.
Back-to-back hard-hit baseballs. This one off the bat of Brett Beatty. 109. Completely beats Jackson Merrill. 2-out double keeps the line moving for the Mets.
Francisco Alvarez, the young Met catcher, will come up. Stat of the day brought to you by Culligan Water of San Diego, providing advanced water treatment solutions, including softeners, filters, and bottled water, ensuring cleaner, safer, and great tasting water for homes and businesses since 1936. He said Beatty was going to be the subject of the stat of the day, but now that he's doubled, let's move to Alvarez. His first career hit in 2022 was a home run. 16th different Met to pull that. But I think the neater note on Alvarez, who takes a curveball for a strike, 0-1, is that when Francisco Alvarez hit his first career home run, only one catcher in Major League history had homered at a younger age than he did. And it was the Hall of Famer, Ivan Pudge Rodriguez, who was about 3 months younger than Alvarez. That's some pretty elite company when it comes to that kind of production. Sweeper misses high outside, 1-1.
Alvarez's game is still evolving. I don't even know that he knows the type of hitter he's going to be yet at the big league level.
Beatty at second, 2 down. Padres lead 2-1, and the pitch low and outside. 2 balls and a strike to Francisco Alvarez, who you mentioned came out of the game late last night after that hit by pitch. And he's had a bunch of hand and wrist issues this year. I'm sure that was the immediate concern, but it caught him a little bit more up on the arm. Swing and a miss here, 2-2.
And back to the sweeper. First and second pitch sweepers. Comes back with it on the 2-1 pitch and is able to get Alvarez to chase off the plate.
Nevada working with a 1-run lead in the bottom of the second inning. Beatty at second, 2 down. Here's the 2-2. And Alvarez takes just a little bit outside, ball 3.
Time a little bit of a shorter slider. A little bit harder than that sweeper. Alvarez doesn't chase. Count moves to 3-2.
Cedric Mullins, who homered last night, would be next. And the 3-2 lined out to right field. Fernando in. Now he backs up a couple of steps. And he'll reach up to make the catch and end the inning. No runs, a hit. Beatty left at second base. And after 2 innings in.
Let's see if you can figure out the following baseball slang term.
He's come to bat, top of the order in the top of the third inning, and they have got themselves a 2-1 lead over David Peterson of the Mets. Lefty delivers and misses a little bit down and in to Fernando. 1 ball and no strikes. Tatis singled and scored in the first inning. Pitch on the way, and downstairs 2-0. And the 2 runs that the Padres have scored so far here tonight, I mean, that's generally how they've done business this year. We saw the home runs yesterday in the loss. But manufacturing a couple tonight as Tatis takes a strike 2-1.
Yeah, leadoff guy getting on, some productive outs around it, and then a big hit or a big sack to kind of push the run across. It's exactly the DNA we've seen from the Padres all season.
Broken back grounder to third base. Beatty charges. He's got it, and the throw to first in time to get Tatis. So Peterson retires the leadoff hitter for the first time in 3 tries. And 1 out with Luis Ariz coming up. Ariz drew a walk his first time, has an active 5-game hitting streak, and he takes a fastball strike from Peterson. Lefty to lefty, the tall southpaw, 6'6", delivers, and Ariz reaches out, grounds it on one hop to Lindor near the bag at second base. His throw to first is in time, 2 down, and David Peterson all of a sudden starting to look a little bit more like David Peterson with all these ground balls.
The last couple of swings he's got from the Padres, a little bit off balance, had him out in front. This time, hard hit, but right at Lindor for out number 2.
Here comes the lumber, brought to you by Dixie Line Lumber and Home Centers. Fix it, build it, enjoy it. It's Manny Machado, who swings at the first pitch, hits a topper towards third. Beatty charges, bare hand from the grass, throw to first, no chance. Infield single, Manny Machado, who is running hard all the way. And the Padres will keep this inning going against Peterson.
Peterson got virtually the same exact contact he got from Manny in the first AB. This one is hit softer, a more difficult play for Beatty. He's unsuccessful as Manny picks up the infield single.
Gavin Sheets and his goatee will be the batter. Gets into the left-handed batter's box. Sack fly his first time. That brought home the first run of the night. Padres now ahead 2-1 with a runner on 2 outs in the top of the third inning. Pitch to Sheets is inside. He jackknifes back out of the way. 1-0 from Peterson. Talked to Gavin a little bit before the game today. Said he is looking forward to going back to the south side this weekend. See some old friends and teammates with the White Sox. 1-0. And Sheets takes low, 2 balls and no strikes. I asked him if he got to know Will Venable at all. Obviously, Will's the White Sox manager now. Before Gavin was let go in the winter, he said, yeah, we actually got to have a couple of conversations early on in the offseason. And unsurprisingly, Gavin said he was very, very impressed by Venable, who has guided the White Sox to a much better year this year. 2-0 pitch is a strike, and now 2-1 to Sheets.
For those of us who know Will, that's not a surprise on either account. Very impressive gentleman and one of the more brighter minds in terms of the game of baseball, and he's doing a terrific job for the White Sox this season.
2-1 to Sheets with Manny at first. Swing and a miss. And a hard sinker that kind of ran down and in on him. So the count evens 2 balls, 2 strikes. Machado at first, 2 away. The 2-2 to Sheets is popped up behind second base. Lindor and McNeil go back. It'll be McNeil making a catch on the outfield grass behind second and the top of the third inning. No runs, a hit. Machado left on base. Padres lead it 2-1. And now here's what's happening at Valley View Casino and Hotel. shows bunt, takes the ball in the dirt, and 1-0 from Nick Pivetta. As Tony told you, Trustin will score. Padres 2, Mets 1. Mullins, then Lindor and Soto 9-1-2 against Nick here in the third. 1-0 pitch is inside. Mullins has to spin out of the way. And Cedric Mullins has seen Pivetta far more than any other Met. Remember Mullins, a longtime Oriole, while Pivetta was pitching at Boston. 10 for 31 against him, with a couple of home runs and a couple of doubles. So the left-handed hitter apparently sees him pretty well. And ahead here, 2-0. Pivetta kicks and deals, and Mullins takes the good curveball for a strike, 2-1. Who's hot, who's not, brought to you by The Grilling Store at Hillcrest Ace Hardware, the official grilling store of the Padres Radio Network. For all your grilling needs, visit them on University Avenue or thegrillingsstoresd.com. Mullins takes high, and now 3 balls. And a strike from Nick Pivetta. Goes hot, the Seattle Mariners. They begin today on a 10-game winning streak. They have gone a half game ahead of the Astros in the AL West. 3-1 is fouled away left side. Now full count, 3-2 on Mullins. They are, however, trailing Kansas City 3-0 in the bottom of the first inning tonight.
Another one of those races that could very well boil down to the last day.
Cal Raleigh passed Mickey Mantle yesterday for the most home runs by a switch hitter. Crazy in a single season. Swing and a miss here as Mullins could not connect with the curveball. Second K today for Pivetta. 1 out in the third with Lindor coming up. All right, so the Mariners are hot. Will stay in the AL West. The Angels are not. They have dropped 5 straight games, but beyond that, last night the Halos clinched their 10th consecutive losing season. That is not only the greatest run of futility in Angel franchise history, but the longest such streak going right now in the major leagues. Lindor batting left-handed takes a high curveball for a strike, 0-1. And again, Nick Pivetta getting calls at the top of the zone tonight from Chris Siegel in a way that he generally has not over the course of this season. Trying to take advantage of that. Here's the 0-1. And Lindor fouls it straight back, strike 2.
Specifically talking about the curveball at the top of the zone. He has consistently not gotten that call all year long, but Chris Siegel opening that top portion up for him on that curveball. Lindor forced to attack that 0-1 fastball at the top of the zone because of that curveball being called a strike.
Two-one Padres, 1 out, nobody on, bottom of the third. And the 0-2 to Lindor on a line ripped into right field, a base hit. Tatis over towards the line. Lindor an aggressive turn, staring out at Tatis, almost daring him to throw behind him. But Fernando will just send it into Cronenworth. And Francisco Lindor is now hit in 6 straight. 1 out single here in the bottom of the third inning. And a real deal stolen base threat with the Mets down by 1 here in the third.
Stayed back enough on that curveball, able to hit it off the end and into right field. And it almost looked like he wanted Toddy to throw to first base so he could take off to second. Toddy did not. Ends up getting that ball in.
2-1 Padres, but Lindor at first, 1 out for Soto. First pitch, Juan leans way back from a high fastball that wasn't really all that far inside. And ball 1. Soto given an extra moment there after he had to sort of get out of the way of that heater. And look, easy to say from here, it wasn't that far inside, but of course in the box at 93 miles an hour. I'm sure it felt uncomfortable. Lindor, pretty good lead over there. Held on by a rise, not running, and Soto will take the curveball for a strike. Count evens 1-1. Lindor 30 and a 36 in the stolen base department this year. Not bad to go along with those 27 home runs.
Good backdoor breaking ball there to move the count to 1-1.
Pivetta comes set. On a strike to Soto. The pitch from Nick is swung on. Sent in the air to left center field. Deep but playable. Laureano is there right in front of the warning track. And he'll make the catch. Good strong throw into second base as Lindor retreats. Though actually hit the bag at second, popped up in the air, but Iglesias tracked it down before anything could happen. 2 away, Lindor at first base, and Pete Alonso, who homered back in the first inning, coming to bat.
Pete Alonso's on a heater right now. Have to be very careful with him. The way he's swinging the bat right now.
It is 35th home run of the season last night, his 36th home run of the season in the first inning tonight, and a good curve on the outside corner for strike 1. So Alonso has homered in 3 straight, and once again having one of the biggest power seasons in Met franchise history. 0-1 is taken at the top of the zone. That's a called strike. 0-2. Of course, that's what Pete Alonso has done since moment 1. Rookie year of 2019, he set their franchise home run record. Became the first Met to ever hit 50 in a season when he hit 53. He's also got the second best home run season in franchise history. 2 years ago, he hit 46.
Like I said, he's becoming the model of consistency for what he does. Every year, you could almost book it 35 or more from a home run total.
No balls and 2 strikes with Lindor at first, 2 outs. Padres lead 2-1 in the bottom of the 3rd inning at Citi Field. Pivetta ready and to throw to first. Lindor was barely off the bag. He just kind of steps right back onto it. A little rush hour baseball for you back home for making us a part of your Wednesday commute. A little bit of a cooler night here. Day game tomorrow. Supposed to heat up a little bit, but starting to feel a little bit like fall. 0-2. Here's the pitch, and Alonso swings, loops it in the air deep down the left field line, but it will hook foul. And the count remains no balls, 2 strikes. Lindor back to first base.
That was a sweeper. It was off the plate, but because it was elevated up, that gave Alonso a chance to be able to hook that ball and almost keep it fair. That same sweeper's down. He either swings through it or he rolls that into play.
Lindor at first, 2 outs. 2-1 Padres, bottom 3. 0-2 again, the pitch, and Alonso takes in on the hands. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Time, Pivetta keeping Alonso honest there with the heater in off the plate.
1-2, and a check swing and a ball in the dirt. They appeal, he went, and that is strike 3 to end the inning. Couple of Ks here in a scoreless 3rd for Nick Pivetta. And to the 4th inning at Citi Field in New York. Padres lead it 2-1 on the Padres Radio Network.
Transform your home with timeless style today. Discover Shutter Mart.
And David Peterson And the veteran lefty delivers. Laureano takes. And the first pitch curve doesn't really bend. Misses up and away. 1 ball to no strikes. Laureano 0 for 1. Grounded out to short back in the first inning. That ended the first. Bonds got a run each of the first 2 innings. And lead this thing by a run. Ball way outside. 2-0. Peterson has not been at his best as of late. And again, you start talking about the workload for this guy, and it's understandable. Last Thursday night in Philadelphia, lasted 5 innings. 2-0 pitch hit hard on a line into right center field. Soto hadn't played well. Into the gap, he's there and makes the catch kind of up against his chest. A hard hit first out in the top of the 4th, and we pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Padres Radio Network.
KWFN and KWFN HD1 San Diego.
Hi, this is Mason Miller. The Padres play here on San Diego's #1 sports station.
Window Company. First pitch swinging. Jackson Merrill fouls one back, strike 1. We have Tony Gwynn Jr. and our producer-engineer Dave Marcus. I'm Jesse Agler. Padres lead the Mets 2-1 with 1 out and nobody on in the top of the 4th inning. The 1 pitch, and Merrill takes low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Third baseman Beatty in a little bit, well off the line, and Jackson takes in the dirt. 2-1. Merrill had a great battle at bat with Peterson leading off in the 2nd inning. Would eventually single and then come in to score on the RBI hit by Jake Cronenworth. Here's the 2-1. And Merrill hits it hard again in the air, deep to center field. Mullins back into the right center gap. He's there. And on the warning track, he makes the catch. But boy, no gentle contact right now off the bat of Jackson Merrill.
I wonder if there's some type of wind happening, because the ball is hung up on a few balls. We've seen Jackson Merrill be able to run one down that was hit hard off the bat. Now we've seen Mullins do it here to Merrill for out number 2.
Yeah, especially in that kind of right center area. Almost like there's a jet stream out to left.
Yeah.
As Iglesias takes up and away. Could also be the planes from LaGuardia. Taking off runway 13 above our heads right now. You're currently hearing American 3221 on its way to Charlotte. True story. 1-0 pitch, and Iglesias takes a fastball down the middle for a strike. 1-1. Mets ran all the way to the National League Championship Series last year before falling to the Dodgers in 6 games. And Jose was in the middle of so much for them. Ball outside, 2-1. And you can tell he was pretty geeked up to be back in New York and have the opportunity to see his former teammates and these fans in particular. Played a nice video for him before the game yesterday. Here's the 2-1 from Peterson. And Iglesias flinches but takes a strike. And it's now 2 balls, 2 strikes on the Padres shortstop. Pods ahead 2-1 with 2 outs and nobody on in the top of the 4th. Peterson deals, and the 2-2 swung on and missed, strike 3. That'll be the first strikeout of the night for Peterson, who works his first 1-2-3 inning of the evening. After 3.5, Padres 2, Mets.
Take a
5 and 6 here in the bottom of the fourth inning. And, boy, Nick Pivetta just continues to look like Nick Pivetta as the year goes along. Pitch misses high. 1 ball and no strikes. Guy's having a career year, making every start, every fifth day, and just showing no signs of flinching at anything as we come towards the finish line of the regular season. 1-0 pitch is a curveball strike.
Loves to compete. Loves the fact that his ball club depends on him every time he takes the mound, and has really embraced that seemingly all year long.
1-1. Here's the pitch, and Nimmo fouls it back, strike 2.
Initially, because of how it's set up, he was kind of able to just work behind the scenes, but once King went down and Darvish wasn't available, he kind of was pushed to the forefront. And boy, has he lived up to the expectation from that standpoint.
And so that we are not accused of exaggerating something. Here's a 1-2. Nimmo pops it up behind the plate. Diaz gonna give it a look, but well into the seats and out of play. Into tonight, he's got the 5th best ERA in the National League. He's got the 3rd best opponent batting average in the National League. They're hitting 191 against him. And his 13 wins are tied for 4th most in the National League. He's not going to win the Cy Young Award, don't get me wrong, but he's going to get votes. He will be on ballots for the National League Cy Young this year. That's the kind of season Nick Pivetta has had.
And listen, they end up, when it's done, putting it top 3, I think, get kind of a nod, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him in there when it's all said and done. It's the kind of year he's had.
And where would the Padres be without him? 1-2 to Nimmo. Pivetta delivers, and a curveball sprayed foul the other way. Talked about it a lot this season. 16 starts now after a Padre loss. Nick has gone 8-3 with a 2.10 ERA.
I know the whole stopper thing is kind of circumstance, but the numbers back it up.
1-2 again. Nimmo swings and misses. Strike 3. Got a fastball past him at 95. And now 4 strikeouts for Pivetta. 1 down in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Pivetta playing with that fastball curveball combo, just kind of going back and forth. Finally finishes Nimmo off with the high heater for out number 1.
Starling Marte stands in, and no doubt Nick Pivetta's arm has been a key for the 2025 Padres. I know that's a little bit of synecdoche. It's more than just his arm, it's his whole body, but he's been huge. Pitch outside to Marte, 1-0. Marte struck out looking his first time. Padres with a 1-run lead as this one's hit in the air, high and deep to left field, no more. Laureano back to watch a home run for Starling Marte, and a 2-2 game here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 9th of the year for the veteran designated hitter.
Yes, he told you the bat was still dangerous. Again, it's that same high fastball. There is top of the zone and there's not quite top of the zone. That's exactly where that pitch was, as it was to Pete Alonso. Both of them end up over the left field wall. This time it ties the game at 2. Not even actually sure that they wanted to go up on that particular pitch, but it wasn't up enough. And Marte ties this game.
So the Mets continue to slug. Second most home runs in the National League this year. Jeff McNeil stands in. He's got a dozen of them, and he hits one high and deep up the right field line. But and boy, I think that might have gone into the upper deck. 0-1 on McNeil. 2-2 game, bottom of the 4th inning. Last night the Mets hit 4 homers, and I got 2 more here tonight. McNeil lined one to right center his first time. Swings and misses here. That's one of those balls that kind of hung up in what could be something of a wind out there in right center. Citi Field is very piecemeal, so you can imagine that, the wind is probably highly variable. Here's the 0-2. It's high, and he's able to check his swing. You got different sizes, everything all the way around.
You wouldn't necessarily think that it would have some type of wind tunnel because of kind of it's all being closed off, but certainly there's something affecting the ball, at least into that right center area.
McNeil swings, skies it into right field, not deep at all, but very high. That gives Fernando an opportunity to come in and make the catch for the second out of the inning. Yeah, I mean, in left field here, you got the 3 big decks that go kind of all the way up. In right field, you got 2 decks. In center, you've got the giant video board, and it is gigantic. And then, just like a little bit taller here, a little bit shorter there. You got Flushing Bay just beyond, so you've got water. All of that, I think, creates a little bit of an unpredictable environment. Base is empty, 2 outs. Brad Beatty swings at the first pitch, lines it into right field, a base hit. He's 2 for 2. Doubled in the second inning, now a 2-out single here in the fourth. And in a 2-2 game, the Mets are going to keep going here against Pivetta.
Beatty, who had a homer in last night's game as well, takes the curveball all over it, shoots it to right field, keeps the line moving for the Mets.
I'll say this, I know they just lost 8 in a row before Sunday, but in the game and a half that we've seen here this week, they look like a team who is very much ready to hit if you give them something to hit.
For sure. They are stepping on the gas early. We saw it in last night's start. Seemingly hunting anything in the zone from King. Did virtually the same thing here tonight. Not as much success, but nonetheless, not missing a whole lot.
Alvarez swings and misses at a fastball. He was ready to hit there, just didn't connect, 0-1.
That was middle. Hits the 94-mile-per-hour fastball by him.
Pavetta's got one of the sneakiest fastballs in all of the major leagues. This one in the air to right field, pretty well struck. Fernando ambling back. He's got room, and right in front of the track, he'll make the one-handed catch to end the inning. But the Mets tie it up on the Starling Marte homer, and we go to the 5th at Citi Field. 2-2 game.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager said the following.
I really
The Mets are 2-2 at Citi Field. Pair of solo homers against Nick Pivetta. Alonso in the first, Marte in the fourth. How about this? Only the second time this year Nick Pivetta has allowed more than 1 home run in a game. That is a remarkable run. First pitch to Cronenworth, lefty to lefty, is taken for a strike at the top of the zone. So twice this year now, Nick Pivetta has given up multiple home runs in a game. You know how many times he did it last year as a Boston Red Sox?
I don't know, 10?
Yeah.
Huh. What do you know?
Cronenworth grounds it foul at first base. That is a remarkable illustration of last year versus this year for Nick Pivetta, keeping the ball in the yard in a significantly better way.
Nick has always been thought of as a guy with great stuff. That numbers just didn't match the stuff. In 2025, it's seemingly all coming together for him.
And I don't think that surprises the Padres at all. 0-2, Cronenworth, check swing foul.
There's a lot of similarities in Joe Musgrove coming here and Nick Pivetta coming here. Certainly Joe was a little bit younger when he got here, but both were seemingly ascending in a way that I think the Padres almost expected the year that they got.
Jake takes a little bit high, ball one. Yeah, it's sort of that perfect moment where experience and ability marry together, and you're able to kind of take off. And you're right, we saw it with Joe, and we're seeing it with Pivetta. Ball low, 2-2 to Cronenworth. Tie game as Jake leads off here in the 5th inning. RBI single his first time to give the Padres a 2-1 lead at the time. But yeah, guys mature, they learn, they gain experience. All that put into good use. 2-2, fouled back. Cronenworth battling away here against David Peterson. Padres have manufactured a pair of runs tonight, and the Mets have hit a pair of solo homers here tonight. 2-2 game, 5th inning. 7th pitch of the at-bat is on the way, and Cronenworth fouls it back again.
Jake putting together another one of these long ABs. 8th pitch coming up. Find his way on the bases. Certainly be a nice little boost to start this inning.
That has been his thing this year for sure. 2-2.
Ooh.
And it hit him. It sounded like plastic on one of those guards that he wears. And Cronenworth aboard to begin the 5th inning.
Man, that hand guard comes in handy here. No pun intended. Caught him right on the top of it. And he'll take first base.
Mets will not challenge. There was a lot of looking over to the dugout there. But you could tell just from the sound that it caught plastic.
You could tell by his reaction he was thankful that he had that guard on. That certainly could have done some damage.
So Jake aboard to lead off this 5th inning in a tie game. The Hispanic Heritage Weekend, presented by Blue Shield of California, returns September 26th through the 28th, where the Padres host the Diamondbacks. The fun starts on Friday with Fiesta in the Park, presented by Verizon, featuring $5 drink specials and live music in Gallagher Square. Learn more at Padres.com/Hispanic Heritage. Final weekend of the regular season should be a blast. Elias Diaz bunts, and he puts it up the first baseline. Peterson will glove it and tag Diaz out in the base path as Cronenworth advances to second. And there it is, a sacrifice bunt from the number 9 hitter. And what did the number 9 hitter do his last time up, you might ask? He grounded into a double play against a guy who gets about as many double plays as anybody in the National League this year. So what does he do this time? He gives himself up and moves the runner. All the high fives for Elias Diaz as he gets back in that third base dugout. Cronenworth at second, one away. And Fernando takes low ball one.
The ultimate trust in the teammate behind him. Moves the runner, a productive out. That'll set up Toddy here with a runner in scoring position. 4th chance for the Padres of the night.
1 for 3 so far after an 0 for 2 last night. And Tatis takes well outside but called a strike. 1-1. Fernando, just kind of looked back at the plate umpire, Chris Siegel, with a face full of disbelief.
Incredulous.
1-1. A long look at Cronenworth. Now the pitch. And Fernando loops it in the air, foul out of play right side. That'll come down 4 rows behind the Met dugout.
The curveball in on the hands. Count moves to 1-2.
Padres trying to go back in front. They've led 1-0 and 2-1, but it's now 2-2 in the 5th inning. On 2 strikes. The pitch. Fernando lines it foul the other way. And again, Padres doing a really good job tonight of just kind of making Peterson work for it. Spoiling a lot of pitches.
It's a good change up there. Down and away, probably on the black there. Toddy fouls it off, buys himself another pitch.
Cronenworth at second, 1 out. Another one is low. Check swing appeal, but certainly did not offer. And the count now 2-2 on Tatis. Fernando singled back in the first inning to lead off his 150th hit of the season, most he's ever had in a single year. Has it been a great year for Tatis? No. But he has been probably more productive than most of us give him credit for. Here's the 2-2, and it's high ball 3. The other thing you'll notice if you watch every pitch the way we do is that the other teams are not buying the fact that it's been a down year for him with the way they pitch.
Because they're looking at the same numbers that we're looking at. They just aren't experiencing it on an everyday basis like we are.
3-2 the pitch. And Tatis takes downstairs, ball 4. Really, really nice turn at bat.
Great at bat. These are the type of at bats that you're going to need to see consistently up and down the lineup. Toddy was 1-2. Had fouled a tough 1-2 pitch off. Then proceeds to lay off 3 tough ones to draw the walk to bring Luis Arraez to the plate.
So a hit by pitch and a walk, sandwiched around a sacrifice by Diaz, have put 2 guys on here for Luis Arraez. And we know Luis did not appear particularly comfortable against Peterson his first time up. We'll see how he approaches this at bat.
Drew the walk his first time up. Hit a hard ground ball right to Lindor the second time up. We'll see exactly how he attacks this at bat. He doesn't have the luxury to be able to drop a sac bunt here with 1 out.
Mets held a players-only mound visit. That is now done. And Arraez will stand in to face Peterson. Fernando at first, Cronenworth at second. I tell you what, Mets are playing behind these guys. Padres more than happy to take a double steal if they think it's there. First pitch, and Arraez takes a slider that breaks over the heart of the plate for a called strike, 0-1. Tied at 2 in the top of the 5th inning. Padres trying to go back in front after the Mets tied it up in the 4th. Runners lead. Here's the 0-1 pitch. He does bunt towards third base. It's a dandy picked up by Beatty. He's got no play. And a bunt base hit for Luis Arraez loads the bases for Manny Machado.
There's always the element of surprise. Certainly the Mets are thinking the same thing Jesse and I are thinking up here. There's no way he's going to drop a 1-out bunt first and second. That's exactly what he does, only it's to perfection. Bunts it hard enough to get past Peterson. Beatty picks it up, no play at first. That loads the bases for Manny Machado.
Selfless baseball, but also really, really smart baseball. As the Met pitching coach Jeremy Hefner heads out to chat. Visit to the mound brought to you by the Window Depot. Offering the best prices and biggest inventory on in-stock vinyl windows and interior and exterior doors. Order online or find a location near you at thewindowdepot.com. So the Padres have the bases loaded now, 1 out in a tie game. And Ryan Stanek is starting to loosen up in the Met bullpen. Remember, the New York relief corps has been something of a gasoline fire the last few weeks. And we didn't get to see any of those guys last night because they piggybacked Minaya and Holmes to perfection. The starter Holmes went 4, then Sean came in and threw 5 innings. The Padres now are working Peterson over pretty good, and there is action in the Met bullpen legitimately for the first time here this week. Mound visit is over. Bases are loaded. 1 out for Manny. First pitch is low. He checks his swing. They appeal. He didn't go. Ball 1. Here comes the lumber, brought to you by Dixie Line Lumber and Home Centers. Fix it, build it, enjoy it. Arraez at first, Tatis at second, Cronenworth at third with 1 out. 1-0 to Manny. Here's the pitch on the way, and Machado swings and misses with a good changeup. That is even now, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Peterson staying away from the hard stuff. First pitch curveball, second pitch changeup. Moves the count to 1-1.
He's already gotten 1 ground ball double play here tonight. That is his specialty. 1-1 pitch. Manny takes low, 2 balls and a strike.
Staying away from the hard stuff. Another changeup. This one Manny lays off. Count moves to 2-1.
I don't think Manny saw that one very well. Common sense would indicate perhaps, I'm asking, easier to see something when you see it 2 in a row?
Absolutely.
2-1. And Machado takes outside. Ball 3 was another changeup.
Let's just say it gives you a better chance to see it when you've seen it back-to-back, now back-to-back-to-back times to move the count to 3-1.
Base is loaded, one out, and time called by Machado before the 3-1 pitch.
And he's got him in a tough predicament here. 3-1, bases loaded, nowhere to put him.
Gavin Sheets waiting on deck.
This is going to have to be a really good pitch. Keep Peterson out of trouble.
3-1. Here it comes. And Manny swings and sends it in the air. Foul out of play right side. That'll fill the count 3-2.
Manny upset with himself. Got the 3-1 cookie there. Probably a half a baseball out of being in the middle. He fouls it back, moves the count to 3-2.
Home crowd trying to rally their left-handed starter. Bases loaded, one out. 3-2 to Machado in a tie game. Peterson delivers. Manny swings, sends it in the air to left field. Nimmo's backing up. He is watching. It's going to go! A grand slam for Manny Machado. Home run number 26 is a big one in the Big Apple. And the Pods go back ahead at 6-2.
You betcha. Didn't see one fastball in that at-bat. And you just got the sense Manny was sitting all over that breaking ball. He had seen 3 straight changeups, was not sniffing at it. All of a sudden, that curveball comes, and Manny leans on it to left center. Grand slam puts the Padres up 6-2 in this ball game.
Boy, this inning has had a little bit of everything from the Padre offense. A couple of bunts, and then the big bomb from the big boy, and the Padre lead is 6-2.
The ultimate trust of teammate to teammate, passing the baton down that line.
Sheets goes after the first pitch, hits it in the air right at Nimmo in left field. He'll make the catch. And that is the elusive second out for Peterson here in the top of the 5th inning. 14th career grand slam for Manny Machado, his second of the year, and oh boy, is it a big one.
That was a master class in how to put together an at-bat in that spot for Manny Machado.
Nobody in baseball right now has more career grand slams than Manny. Pitch up and away, 1-0.
He took his one shot on the changeup early, missed it, swung through it, and then was able to see a few, got himself into a count where he could kind of pick his choice, and he hammered that curveball.
Ball low, 2-0 to Laureano. Base is empty, 2 outs for Ramon. Padres up 6-2 after the Machado slam. Here's the 2-0. And Laureano takes low, 3 balls and no strikes. Boy, David Peterson not going to be long for this game. That at bat was a masterclass. This inning has been a masterclass.
Absolutely.
3-1 after a fastball right down the middle.
It's funny, when you execute, ain't a lot to talk about.
3-1 to Laureano, and Ramon takes outside ball 4. That's another walk issued by Peterson, his second of the inning. He's also hit a batter here in the 5th. And a little bit of bluebird action. Carlos Mendoza moving around in that first base dugout. But for the moment, it looks like he's going to lead Peterson in to face his 8th batter of the inning, Jackson Merrill. Talked earlier about the conversation we had with Mike Schilt before the game tonight about bunting. And he made very clear, we are not against home runs. We are not against slug.
As he said, pro homer, pro slug.
Homer. That's right. Merrill takes low ball 1. But he also said, look, if the situation is that a player feels more comfortable trying to bunt, we're good with that. As you said, trust the guy behind you. And, I mean, it is all played out to a T here in the 5th inning for the first Laureano batter.
And that's the part that the analytics may kind of gloss over from time to time, or that you may not have the analytics that they're looking at. If a guy has a high ground ball rate swinging it, doesn't do him any good to try to put the ball in play when that's normally the way it goes.
Merrill in the air to left field. That's pretty well struck. Nimmo going back, still going back, squares it up on the warning track, and he'll make the catch to end the top of the 5th inning. But 8 Padres come to bat, and half of them cross the plate on Manny Machado's 26th home run of the season, a grand home run here at Citi Field in New York. Midway, it's the Padres 6 and the Mets 2. on the Padres Radio Network. From Nick Pivetta, the beneficiary of this run support. Mullins struck out his first time. Lindor and Soto to follow here as Pivetta has been given a little bit of a cushion. 1-0 pitch. Mullins takes right at the top of the zone. That's a fastball strike, 1-1. Boy, what an at-bat by Manny Machado at the top of this fifth inning. And look, you see a lot of great at-bats that don't necessarily end with a great result. Swing and a miss here, 1-2. That's the cool nature of this game, but he got the result this time.
Players like Manny, though, seem like they end up on the right end of those type of at-bats often. You have to appreciate the work that he has kind of put in here as of late to try to get his stroke back, and it has shown up at the right time.
1-2 is high, 2 balls, 2 strikes. There is also something, and look, you could never quantify this, but there is something about your big guy having a big hit in a big game that does something to the team. Here's the 2-2. Mullins out in front, bangs it foul on the ground right side. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. I
would say it just strengthens the resolve that they already have in that particular player. These guys in that dugout on the field already believe in Manny in a way that probably is unexplainable. That just kind of reinforces it when he does something like that.
2-2 again, and Mullins hits it foul on the ground again. Today's question of the day brought to you by Kaiser Permanente. If you have questions about your health, visit kp.org/San Diego. Kaiser Permanente for all that is you. Yesterday, we took a question from right up the street in Astoria, Queens. Going to go a little bit further here tonight. 2-2. Mullins swings and misses. Strike 3. Blew a fastball past him. 5th K of the day for Pivetta. 1 out of the bottom of the 5th as the order turns over for Lindor. We're going to go to Darwin City, Australia to hear from Kyle. And Kyle wants to know, have there been any notable pitchers who have missed fingers on their throwing hand of their glove hand, and how did that affect their throwing ability? Yeah, I mean, a couple really incredible, famous examples, certainly. Lindor batting left-handed takes a little bit in 1-0. Let's start with a guy you and I grew up watching. And, I mean, even as a kid, I thought to myself, we don't talk enough about how incredible this is. Jim Abbott.
It's crazy that we didn't really talk about that as much as we should have. I mean, someone playing baseball with one hand and being able to not just throw the baseball but field his position, hit from his position. It's really remarkable that we don't talk about Jim Abbott as much.
There's a new documentary on him. I think it's ESPN, forgive me if not, that I haven't seen yet, but I'm excited to watch. An incredible athletic and human achievement to have the career that he had. 1-1. Lindor swings, lines it over Pivetta. Iglesias snags it behind second base, and the long throw to first is in time, 2 down. And boy, good reflexes by Pivetta out on the mound to get out of the way. Juan Soto coming up, another famous one, Mordecai Brown. His nickname was Three-Finger Brown. He was missing 2 fingers on his throwing hand and kind of figured out a way to throw this curveball with his remaining fingers. Had a really nice career in the early 1900s. It's a very specific question from Kyle in Australia. Always down for some fun history.
Yeah.
Soto takes eyeball 1. It's kind of on the other side of it, but you remember Antonio Alfonseca pitched for the Marlins. He
had an
6.
extra finger, yeah.
6-2 Padres, 2 outs, nobody on in the 5th. Soto takes inside ball 2. Pivetta now 76 pitches as he works here in the 5th inning, and Adrian Morejon is warming in the Padre bullpen. Another reminder, it is September 17th. Here's the 2-0. Soto takes the curve outside, ball 3.
Who's on deck for the Padres in the 6th is brought to you by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit TimberTech.com. For the Padres, it'll be 7-8-9. Iglesias, Cronenworth, Diaz.
3-0 to Soto with Alonso waiting on deck, and a fastball down the middle for a strike, 3-1.
A couple of lefties sandwiching a righty after Alonso, who's on deck.
And in game 152, you got a 4-run lead, middle innings. You put your foot on the gas if you're Mike Schill.
No doubt.
Thanks again to Kyle in Darwin City, Australia for the question. Remember to send yours in. Go to 973thefansd.com/question. Best wishes, Kyle. Thanks for checking in. 3-1. Soto takes a good curveball for a strike. And Pivetta fights back to fill the count, 3-2. Soto 0 for 2 tonight. He's lined to center and flown to left. Singled his first time up yesterday, but nothing since. 3-2. Pivetta ready. The pitch, and Soto swings, rips it in the air down the right field line, and it is gone. A home run. Kept it fair inside that right field foul pole, and Juan Soto ties his career-high 41 home runs this season, and it's a 6-3 game here in the 5th inning.
Definitely tough to sneak the same pitch by a guy like Juan Soto, specifically in the zone. Be different if one had been bounced, one in the zone. Both of those for strikes. The first one Soto took. The second one, it was almost like he was waiting for it. Bullet down the right field line. Brings the Mets a little bit closer, 41st of the year.
So at 2 outs and nobody on in the bottom of the 5th, the Trustin will score. The Padres 6 and the Mets 3. Pete Alonso will stand in, and he takes a fastball outside, 1-0.
This very well could be Pivetta's last batter here.
Yeah, and Machado going to call for time and go visit Pivetta, which would be further evidence to what you're saying. Just allow Morejon an opportunity to get ready, which I'm guessing
Morejon looks ready. He's not even really throwing the baseball any longer. This may just be to give Pivetta a quick breather as he takes on another dangerous hitter in Pete Alonso.
Pete Alonso, who hit a long home run back in the 1st inning. So the Padre lead is 3. The Mets have hit 3 solo homers tonight. Pods have manufactured a pair of runs and hit a grand slam. And Pivetta at 81 pitches. Again, this is not July. This is not June. You're not thinking about the long marathon and trying to save the bullpen. You're trying to win a game at pretty much all costs here. So I'm with you. This is very likely his last batter, certainly if Alonso reaches. Mound visit is over. 2 outs, nobody on. The 1-0 pitch. And Alonso takes the sweeper, maybe the curve, either way outside, and the count is 2-0. First time Nick has allowed 3 home runs in a game as a Padre. 2-0 pitch, curveball for a strike, and now 2-1. Pavetta trying to finish the job here tonight and go 5. The pitch is lined into center field. That's down and a base hit. May not be able to do so. Second knock of the night for Pete Alonso. Just muscled that sinker that jammed him a little bit into center field. And Mike Schilt is coming out to make a pitching change. And Pavetta going to depart tonight, 1 out shy of qualifying for an individual win. For the Padres, again, more than anything else in the world right now, worried about a team win. So Morejon is going to be called upon. Brandon Nimmo is coming out, and Pavetta departs. Padres lead it 6-3 with a runner on first, 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th on the Padres Radio Network.
Hey, gang, it's Woodsy. Ever wanted to drink your shower water? With Eagle Water SoCal Smart Filtration.
SoCalOilChange.com for directions and discounts. That's SoCalOilChange.com. Padres 6, Mets 3. They've got Alonso at first, 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th inning. And Brandon Nimmo standing in against Morejon, who has done a really nice job against Nimmo in his career. Got to figure this is one of those matchups that the Padres had circled coming into this series. Nimmo 1 for 6, 3 strikeouts in his career against Morejon. First pitch, swing and a miss. Good slider, biting straight down. And the count 0-1 on the Met left fielder. Nimmo struck out his last time against Pavetta. Fouled out to Machado in the first, 0 for 2 tonight. Alonso at first, 2 away. 0-1, Morejon deals. And Nimmo flinches this time, takes that same slider low, though. And the count evens 1-1. Padres with a 3-run lead, with the Mets are threatening for more here in the 5th. 1-1 pitch is a strike, 98 right at the knees. And on the outside part of the plate, 1-2.
Little lane changer there, bottom of the zone from Adrian. Moves the count to 1-2.
Morejon dangling that left arm. Now he comes set. A look at Alonso, who's held by Arise. 1-2 pitch and a swing and a miss. Pull a heater right past Nimmo, and that will end the 5th inning. Mets get 1 on the Soto homer, but we head to the 6th, with the Padres leading 6-3 on the Padres Radio Network.
I'm Kathy Manella of Manella Law Group. We're proud partners of
debut. 26-year-old from Chandler, Arizona. Been up on the roster for almost a week now, but been sitting on one of those benches out in the bullpen, and now finally an opportunity to get into a game. He spent all year at AAA Syracuse, where he had a 5.32 ERA, 11 starts, 20 relief appearances, including 1 save. Good number of strikeouts at the AAA level. We'll see how it goes for him here in the major leagues as Iglesias, Cronenworth, and Diaz come to bat here in his big league debut. First pitch on the way, and Iglesias takes a fastball strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Hamill takes over for David Peterson, who went 5 tonight. Obviously, Peterson was kind of hanging on until the Machado grand slam last inning. Ends up allowing 6 runs on 6 hits. Walked 3 guys and hit a batter. As Iglesias rolls one towards third, Beatty going to let it kick foul, and it does. Scoops it up right in front of the bag in foul territory. So 0-2 on Iglesias. 1 strikeout for Peterson, and that was against Iglesias in his last at bat. Got an unknown quantity on the mound now if you're the Padres.
Padres want to get back to putting those good ABs together as they did in the last inning. Led to the 4-run fifth.
Iglesias had hustled all the way to first base on what turned out to be a foul ball, so now just back in, and he grounds another one foul left side. Pitching change brought to you by Miramar Kitchen and Bath. When it's time to upgrade your kitchen or bath, think of San Diego's top kitchen and bath remodelers for more than 30 years. Visit MiramarKitchenandBath.com to book your free consultation today. 0-2 to the former Met. Here's the pitch, and Iglesias chops it over the mound, charged at second by McNeil. He's got it, and a one-footed throw to first base is in time, 1 away here in the 6th. Joe Musgrove has been nominated for the 2025 Roberto Clemente Award presented by Capital One. Fans vote to recognize who best represents the game through positive contributions on and off the field. Vote today at MLBtogether.com/Clemente Award. Joe all year, even while injured, doing incredible work in his and our home community. Cronenworth takes outside, ball 1. Jake's been aboard both times tonight, an RBI single in the second inning, hit by a pitch to begin the rally last inning. Here's the 1-0. Cronenworth swings, sends it very high into shallow center field. Mullins will jog underneath it. He's there, and he makes the catch 2 away.
Jake upset with himself there. Got a slider that I think he felt like he should have did more with. Ends up flying out to center for out number 2.
Luis Diaz will get into the box 0 for 1 at a sacrifice last inning. That helped get that inning moving for the Pods. Pitch to him is a fastball strike, 0-1. Padres 6 runs on 6 hits. The Mets 3 runs on 7 hits. So the Mets have hit the 3 solo homers. They've had other guys on base. They've just kind of mistimed their home runs. Padres, very different story. Way inside, and Diaz hit by a fastball. Elias kind of walking slowly back towards Tatis in the on-deck area. It looked like the general hand-wrist area, forearm maybe. And now head athletic trainer Mark Rogo going to come out and check on him. And it was the back elbow.
Almost bicep. As he kind of got out the way, it went under his lead arm and caught the back arm. Bicep, maybe just underneath it. He's going to have a nice bruise on that part of his arm by the end of the night. But
can I make an unkind prediction?
Go ahead.
He's going to have like a really painful foul tip at the bottom of the inning, too.
As a catcher, you can't count it out. But it does turn the lineup over to Toddy here with 2 outs.
Fernando's been aboard twice and coming to score both times. Mike Schilt and Mark Rogo basically escorted Diaz to first base. Where now Pete Alonso checks on him, David Macias and his pseudo-goatee check on him, and first base umpire Alex McKay check on him. He's good enough. We had a 2-out base runner, as you said, for Fernando, with the Padres leading 6-3 here in the 6th inning. So Dom Hamill's major league debut on the mound has just gotten a little bit more tricky. Pitch on the way, in the dirt outside. Good stop by Alvarez. The catcher basically just smothered that slider in the dirt. Got the wave going in Queens. 1-0. Tatis lines it into center field in a base hit. Diaz will advance one station. Second knock of the night for Fernando, who has hit the ball really, really hard. And now 2 men aboard for Luis Arraez.
Love the fact that it wasn't perfect last night. He went over, but he hasn't changed anything the following day. Still short striding, bullet up the middle. Line keeps moving now. Luis Arraez gets his crack at it.
So the Padres trying to make a little 2-out noise here. That was kind of a hallmark of this offense the first couple of months of the season. A little bit less so in the back half of 2025. First and second, 2 outs. First pitch, and Arraez sends it in the air down the right field line, but well foul. And into the second deck at Citi Field, strike 1. Arraez, a bunt base hit, immediately preceding the Machado grand slam last inning. Also walked back in first. He's 1 for 2. Padres with a 3-run lead, trying to add to it here in the top of the 6th. 0-1 the pitch. And Arraez rips it on a line into right field. That's a base hit. Diaz is being waved around third. He'll come in to score. Hustling for second base, Arraez. The throw and the tag, he's out. And they're going to say Diaz did not cross the plate before the out at second base.
He slowed up as he got to home plate and did not finish the run, and it was a good call.
There will be no challenge, but there will be some teaching coming out of that moment as the Padres lose a run here in the top of the 6th inning. No runs, 2 hits.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 19.
Out of play. The throw from Soto went into second base. And Diaz, who was on his way home, swing and a miss by Marte, 0-2, slowed up basically right before he got to home plate, like a step and a half before he got to the dish. And as he slowed up, Luis Arraez was tagged out by Lindor at second base, so the run did not count. 0-2, chopped foul. And that is the kind of little thing that the Padres under Mike Schilt really pride themselves on not doing, but they just did it.
Yeah, you got to run through the bag. That's kind of the base running one-on-one with 2 outs, trying to score from second base. You got to go hard. Diaz, who doesn't run well, Arise draws the throw to second base, which gives him the free lane just to come in hard. And just that step that you mentioned is what cost the Padres a run.
And 2 to Marte, hits it on a line to right center. Merrill hadn't played that way, though. He'll track it down in the gap and make that 1 down in the bottom of the 6th. I think Padres lead by 3. And you hope it ends up being a no harm, no foul kind of thing, depending how the rest of the game goes. But this thing tightens up, oh boy.
Oh, indeed. And rightfully so.
Yeah.
This is the time of year where you like to think that those type of things are shored up. Just a second of lapse in judgment ends up costing you a run.
And Machado was standing nearby. He was going to be the next hitter as McNeil gets in and takes high ball 1 from Morejon. And he kind of saw the whole thing happening, not that there was anything he could do to... And he just kind of put his hands up towards his head like, oh, no. And, I mean, Mike Schilt very quickly indicated, yeah, I'm not going to challenge it. And it was certainly the right call. McNeil fouls it away 1-1.
Listen, I saw it from up here that he didn't get to home plate before the tag. And listen, there's a little bit of blame to go to Luis as well. Like, he's drawing the throw to second. And listen, maybe they can take a shot at home with Diaz not running well, but either way, you got to be able to score that run. Really, at this point, it's not a matter of whose fault it is. That run has to be scored.
Pitch misses to McNeil, 2-1. So if you're a Rise, I think the idea, right, would be not to slide into the base and just kind of allow yourself to get tagged there.
Or hold up somewhere in between just to make sure that they got to come get you.
Foul back, 2-2 to McNeil.
In Luis's defense, it was hit kind of down the right field line. It's something that we've seen them aggressively do all the time. Maybe he stops halfway just to make sure that run scored, but probably in his mind, it was a no-brainer.
Yeah. I think more than anything, he was legitimately trying to get to second base. 2-2, and McNeil fouls it off of Diaz right off the bat. And there you go.
That was one of those emergency hacks there.
McNeil is a master of
He is.
Seagull. 2-2, 1 out, nobody on, bottom 6. Padres ahead 6-3. McNeil 0-for-2 against the starter Pivetta, now facing Morejon. The 2-2 pitch is grounded up the middle. Long way to go. Cronenworth has it on the backhand at second. Throw to first is in time. What a play by Jake Cronenworth. And 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning as we pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Padres Radio Network.
KWFN and KWFN HD1 San Diego.
Hey, this is Ryan O'Hearn.
Away from McNeil.
So 2 outs, nobody on for Beatty. Padres 6, Mets 3 in the bottom of the 6th. And lefty to lefty, Morejon delivers a fastball strike right at the knees, 0-1. Beatty has hit both times he's come to bat tonight, all of that against Pivetta. A double in the 2nd and a single in the 4th. A 2-run homer in his first AB yesterday. Nice couple of days here for the young Met third baseman, Brett Beatty. Morejon trying to work a 1-2-3 inning, something Pivetta never did tonight. Here's the 0-1. And Beatty fouls it back, strike 2.
Morejon's coming right after these hitters, filling up the zone, quickly ahead 0-2.
And 2. Here's the pitch on the way, and a foul ball off of Diaz for the 2nd time this inning. Count remains, no balls, 2 strikes. Pivetta again will not qualify for the win. Didn't get through the 5th inning, but he certainly did his part here tonight. And again, I think if this was earlier this year, you would have seen him keep going a little bit at least. Moved after 84 pitches. Pitch is up and in. 1-2 to Beatty. Final lineup, Pavetta 4 2/3, 3 runs, 7 hits, no walks, 5 strikeouts. Gave up the 3 solo homers. Only the second time this year he's allowed more than 1 home run in a game, and the first time he's allowed 3. 1-2. Beatty rolls it up the first baseline. That is going to roll right wide of the bag, foul. Might have broken his bat. So Beatty will head back towards home plate and grab a new stick. That scoreboard brought to you by KMG Psychiatry, official mental health partner of the Padres Radio Network, offering TMS, transcranial magnetic stimulation, to help those military heroes in need lift the fog of depression. Visit KMGPsychiatry.com. Padres 2 back of the Dodgers in the West. It'll be Snell and Luzardo. Phillies and Dodgers later tonight in L.A. Cubs beat the Pirates 8-4, so they have clinched at least a wild card. Cubs heading to the playoffs for the first time since the 2020 season. And the Padres now 5.5 game back of Chicago for that top wild card spot. Giants and Diamondbacks played a crazy extra inning game, and San Francisco won 5-1 in 11. Here's the 1-2. And Beatty takes right on the inside corner. Strike 3 called. A 1-2-3-6 inning for Morejon, and he caps it with a K. Head to the 7th at Citi Field.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizard. Go crazy.
Catch the next unforgettable call on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Let's see if we can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Oppo Taco. Do you know what it means? Oppo Taco, a home run hit to the opposite field.
Austin Hayes with an Oppo Taco, his 13th, and it's a 1-run game.
Expand your vocabulary by listening to every game on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager said the following.
I really don't know what to say. I'm just so happy I gave something these people cheer. We all did. I mean, it was a great game. Both teams played incredible. It was a great game.
That's Mike Piazza after he hit an 8th inning go-ahead home run in the first New York Mets home game after 9/11. Hear moments like this and more on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Easy. Hey, could you make that too? The indulgent spa retreat. Ah. And the epic rooftop pool in Cabanas. It's all for you at the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. Book your experience at JamulCasino.com.
Padres with a 6-3 lead as we enter the 7th. Top of the 7th is brought to you by Kaiser Permanente. For all that is you.
Keep going on this out-of-town scoreboard as Manny Machado stands in to lead off against Dom Hamill. Hamill, as we broke down, got away with one last inning when Diaz was unable to cross the plate before Arise was tagged out to end the inning. Hamill making his major league debut here tonight. Hit a batter, gave up 2 hits, but somehow not a run. Now dealing with Manny, who hits one on the ground sharply to the left side. Backhanded by Lindor. Knocked it down, tried to pick it up, could not. And Machado aboard on what could be certainly an error on Francisco Lindor.
I think it might have been a tough play for Francisco. He had to go in the hole. It wasn't hit hard. Nonetheless, Manny reaches first base. That might be the end for him.
They call it an infield hit for Machado, his second of the night, his 3rd hit overall, and Hamill will depart his major league debut with Machado on first, nobody out in the top of the 7th inning. Gavin Sheets will face lefty Gregory Soto after this on the Padres Radio Network.
If you have old windows, they are probably driving up your energy bills.
3. Pods have Machado at first, nobody out, and Sheets coming up to face Soto, who's had a really hard time since coming over. During that 8-game losing streak, the Mets had a bunch of games that they led late and ended up losing. Soto was in the middle of a lot of that. Ryan Helsley, the former Cardinal, as well. So trying to regain a little bit of confidence and effectiveness here as he stands in to face Sheets. And the first pitch to Gavin is 96, right on the inside edge for a called strike, 0-1. Soto, in his last 2 outings, has allowed 6 runs. Not what you're going for, obviously, out of the bullpen. Sheets has faced him only once before, had a base hit against him. Here's the 0-1, and Sheets takes low, 1 ball, 1 strike. And knowing the recent history for Soto, I would imagine if he gets himself into any kind of trouble here, it is going to get very loud in a very negative way very quickly. Machado held on by Alonso. Pretty good lead over there, not running. And the pitch to Sheets rolled over, grounded foul at first base. And is 1-1. Mention the Giant Diamondback game, by the way. San Francisco won it 5-1 in 11. It was scoreless through 10 innings. So Arizona now 2 back of the Mets for the final wild card. Giants 2.5 back. And the Cardinals lost to the Reds today, so Cincinnati right there as well. As Sheets swings and misses, strike 3. 1 out in the top of the 7th. Soto gets the first guy that he faces. Now he'll deal with a right-handed hitter, Ramon Laureano, his former teammate in Baltimore. Laureano 2 for 3 against him in his career with a double. First pitch on the way, and Laureano checks, takes low. They appeal to first base, and he went for umpire Alex McKay. No balls and a strike. And wow. Certainly didn't look like it.
No, it didn't. I think Manny was giving McKay a little bit of noise about it.
0-1 pitch is fouled off of Alvarez. He's hopping up and down as he goes to get the ball in front of the plate. 0-2 now to Laureano. Yeah, you don't often see the runner at first engage the umpire at first after a check swing call, but that's exactly what happened.
Does McKay feel a little close to the bag compared to other first basemen?
Yes.
Not mad at it, but just...
He's basically standing right between first base coach David Macias and Manny Machado.
Just don't recall a first base umpire being that close.
Probably part of why he messed up the check swing. Here's a line drive over the head of Beatty and into left field, a base hit. Machado advances to second, and Laureano a knock against his former teammate. Padres with 2 on and 1 out for Jackson Merrill.
Tried the slider. He got it in, but it was elevated. Laureano spins on this baseball, ripping it in the left field. First and second now for Action Jackson.
That's about as well as Laureano's hit a ball in the last week or so, I think.
I think the double he had at home was hit hard, but that's probably, as you said, the last one. Certainly welcome the opportunity here with Jackson Merrill coming up.
Yeah, Jackson's hit the ball hard a bunch as of late, including tonight. 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored. Lefty to lefty, first pitch. Merrill leans back and takes a good sweeper for a strike.
Although he fooled Jackson, that sweeper certainly up in the zone. Not where Soto wants that pitch to be.
Padres up 6-3 with 2 on and 1 out in the 7th inning. Pitch on the way, and Merrill takes a fastball strike on the outside edge, 0-2. Teams have combined for 17 hits tonight. There's just been a ton of traffic. And you know what it is? It's just got to look like 2 good offenses taking care of their business.
The Padres 4 for 6 with runners in scoring position.
Kind of like what you're going to see in the playoffs, most likely. A lot of the time, at least. Swing and a miss here, the ball in the dirt. And a couple of Ks now for Soto, 2 down in the top of the 7th inning. Los Tucanes is back for a special postgame concert presented by Coca-Cola Sunday, September 28th. During Hispanic Heritage Weekend presented by Blue Shield of California. A theme game package is required for access to the concert after the game, so visit Padres.com/Tucanes for more information. That's Padres.com/Tucanes. 6-3, San Diego ahead, 2 on 2 out top of the 7th inning. And Jose Iglesias going to stand in against Soto. He struck out the 2 left-handed hitters, gave up a hit to the 1 right-handed hitter he faced, and he missed a slow ball 1 to Iglesias. Jeremiah Estrada looks ready in the Padre bullpen for the bottom of the 7th inning. 1-0 to Iglesias is low, 2 balls, no strikes. Pivetta started. Padres used Morejon to finish the 5th and go through the 6th. So it's lined up for Estrada in the 7th, Miller in the 8th, Suarez in the 9th. Unless, of course, the Padres break it wide open. Now Soto will step off. Odds have Laureano at first, Machado at second, 2 outs. 2-0 to Iglesias. Soto having a really hard time with Alvarez getting on the same page. Already had to use a step off. Now they're going to use up a mound visit as Alvarez goes out to...
You wonder what that's about. First 2 pitches, sliders, they fall behind 2-0. You wonder if Soto is leery going back to something hard here to Iglesias.
Sometimes see that, right, when a guy's had some struggles as of late. Doesn't necessarily have all the confidence and all the options. Part of Alvarez's job is to convince him to work with conviction. Quick chat. Alvarez back behind the plate. Iglesias just waiting in the right-handed batter's box. Jose has gotten ahead 2-0 here, looking to reach for the first time tonight. Runners lead at first and second. Soto is set and ready. Couple looks at Laureano. Now another. Now the pitch. And Iglesias spins away from a bunt. It goes off the glove of Alvarez, and the runners will advance. Manny might have taken off on the pitch.
He did. He was stealing. He was off to the races. He had been kind of playing with it for the previous couple pitches. And I think Alvarez, kind of recognizing that, came out of the chute a little too quick, didn't have the ball in his glove. This will be a pass ball, but it'll go down as a stolen base for Manny. He actually rounded third and was ready to come home had Soto not covered.
So Machado at third, Laureano at second, 3-0 on Iglesias with Cronenworth on deck. Here's the pitch, and a swing and a miss. 2-1 now to Jose, who's being presented with a huge opportunity here.
Infield's back. They're conceding the run because there's 2 outs, of course.
2-2, the pitch is way outside, ball 3. Alvarez, the catcher, having to lunge out to his right. Padres 4 for 7 with runners in scoring position here tonight. The 5th hit would be a huge one here for Jose Iglesias. Machado at third, Laureano at second, 2 down. Padres lead 6-3. Soto set. The payoff pitch is taken low and inside, ball 4. So Soto walks Iglesias, but he does get himself another left-handed hitter here. And again, he's looked much, much better against the left-handed hitters this inning.
Jake Cronenworth's been a tough AB, though, all game. Come up with the bases loaded here, a chance to really break this game open.
Second time tonight, the Padres have had the bases loaded. First time, Machado hit a grand slam. And a fastball strike at 97. 0-1 to Cronenworth. Iglesias at first, Laureano at second, Machado at third with 2 outs. Padres really trying to add to this 3-run lead against the reeling Gregory Soto. Pitch on the way. And Cronenworth hits a slow chopper towards first base. That's well foul. But now 0-2. Ready, the 0-2. Cronenworth swings, hits it sharply, but right to McNeil on 1 hop at second base. The third of first is in time, and the Padres even loaded near the top of the 7th inning. We will stretch at Citi Field in New York. Padres 6, Mets 3 on the Padres Radio Network.
Taco. Do you know what it means? Oppo Taco. a home run hit to the opposite field.
Mets will come to bat in the bottom of the 7th inning against the new Padre pitcher, Jeremiah Estrada. Padres with a 6-3 lead, and Estrada relieves Morejon. Morejon 4 up, 4 down with a couple of Ks. Sharp again, pitching change brought to you by Sid's Carpet Barn. Sid's Carpet Barn stands alone as San Diego's floor covering leader. From a huge selection of premium high-end choices to quality budget-friendly options, Sid's has you covered. Estrada gave up a 3-run homer to Mickey Moniak in his last outing on Sunday. He was responsible for only one of the runs in terms of his ERA, but obviously another tough moment for Estrada. See how it goes here as Alvarez stands in, takes a fastball a little bit high, maybe outside, ball 1. Mullins on deck, then top of the order, Lindor. Padres do have Mason Miller up in the bullpen. Perhaps if it gets to Soto after that. 1-0 to Alvarez. Estrada deals, and a hard hit ball in the air to right center field. Long run Tatis. This one is off the top of the wall, comes back into play, and Alvarez stands at second with a double. Wow. For the moment, the Padres have got something of a break as that ball somehow stayed in the yard.
Looked like it hit the top of the wall, the orange line. They will ask the umpires to take a look at this, but it looked like it hit the top of the orange or the line that's on top of the fence, which is orange, and then bounced back into play.
The call on the field is the ball is live and in play. This is a crew chief review for a potential home run.
So obviously the Mets will say, hey, please take a look at it. It doesn't cost them a challenge. No reason not to. And now we get our first look at it. And there's a possibility it hit something behind the orange line. Now we're getting a really good look. Oh, wow. I think it did. There's a little, I don't know, you want to call it a roof?
I don't know. I think it might have just hit in between the two pads, so it kind of looks funky, but I don't know. There's nothing that we've seen in the replay that would allow you to overturn this.
Manager's Challenge is presented by Silver Strand Technology, delivering big league defense off the field. Silver Strand Technology, your experts in commercial security. Visit silverstrand.com. This is a very weird one.
Here's the other thing. Just take a look at the bullpen. They don't react as though that ball got over the fence there either.
After review, the ball struck a part of the outside the playing field. Therefore, it is a home run.
Wow. So the apple goes up. The Mets have hit their 4th home run of the night. It is another solo shot. They all have been.
Jeremiah Estrada continues to have a problem with the long ball. This one cuts the lead to 2.
There's a little gate in the wall out there, and where the gate kind of connects, like the hinge at the top, to the rest of the padded wall, it kind of hit behind that hinge and somehow jumped back onto the field. Weird one, and a home run for Alvarez, his 9th of the year.
So important for Jeremiah to get right back on the saddle here, lock in and make some pitches.
6-4 is the Padre lead. Closest the Mets have been since it was 2-1. Mullins 0 for 2, the pair of Ks, but hit a homer yesterday. He takes high and outside. 7th-inning stretch was brought to you by Bulkhead Energy. Built by heroes for heroes, the go-to energizer for military, first responders, and essential workers of all professions. Drink Bulkhead Energy, fuel for heroes. Go to bulkheadenergy.com. 1-0 to Mullins, swung on and missed. Very late on a fastball, and the count is even 1-1. So the Padres have a 2-run lead, but you're also probably going to end up having to use Mason Miller now in this 7th inning. 1-1 the pitch. Mullins flinches and takes high. 2 balls and a strike. And again, that run they did not get in the 6th. Starts to feel a little bit bigger. Padres had a run basically taken off the board. Here's the 2-1. It's outside ball 3 when Rise was tagged out to end the inning before Elias Diaz crossed the plate on what should have been really a routine RBI single. Diaz was too slow, or Rise was too fast, or some combination. Here's the 3-1 to Mullins, way outside. Oh boy, homer and a walk to the 8 and 9 hitters issued by Estrada. And now the tying run has come to the plate, and it is Francisco Lindor.
All 3 of the next 3 guys, I should say, all swinging the bat extremely well. And some pitches will have to be made here. Padres want to get out of this clean.
Ruben Niebla is on his way to the center of the diamond. Visit to the mound brought to you by the Window Depot, offering the best prices and biggest inventory on in-stock vinyl windows and interior and exterior doors. Order online or find a location near you at thewindowdepot.com. I would imagine this is going to be Estrada's last batter, really no matter what.
Yeah.
Long conversation on the hill. Mullins at first, nobody out. Lindor will be the batter as the plate umpire, Chris Siegel, goes out to break up the conversation. And a big crowd here in Queens making noise. Mets have never led tonight. Padres had an early 1-0 lead. They tied it right back up. Padres went ahead 2-1. They tied it right back up. And then the Machado slam in the 5th inning made it 6-2. But it is now 6-4. With Lindor representing the tying run, nobody out in the bottom of the 7th inning. Mullins' big lead at first base. First pitch on the way, and Lindor, batting left-handed, takes a splitter for a called strike. 0-1.
Mullins with 21 bags on the season.
The count. Here is Estrada to Lindor, and down and in. 1 ball and 1 strike. Came back with that specialty pitch of his, the split change combo. One and one. Estrada ready to pitch. And Lindor flinches and checks his swing, but takes a strike on the inside corner. And now 1-2.
Another split. It's been all splits to Francisco here in SAB.
1-2. Here's the pitch, and Lindor swings, pops it up. Right side of the infield, Cronenworth will call off the shortstop Iglesias, and at the very back of the infield third, Jake makes the catch. So that is out number 1, and Mike Schultz pops right out of the third base dugout to go make a pitching change. He is going to call on Mason Miller to face Soto and Alonso with Mullins at first and only 1 out. Pitching change in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's the Padres 6 and the Mets 4 on the Padres Radio Network.
When your home is protected on the outside,
Soto and Alonso in a 2-run game, bottom of the 7th inning. Padres ahead 6-4. Soto will stand in 1 out of 3. Hit a home run in his last at bat, his 41st of the season, his 99th RBI of the year. Next home run for Soto will be a new career high. First pitch on the way, and Soto swings, pops it foul out of play, challenged him with a fastball, and it's strike 1.
Heavyweight battle, as you said. First pitch heater, 1-on-1. Soto ready for it, fouls it back.
Tell you what, when the Mets signed Juan Soto, they were imagining moments like this.
When the Padres traded for Mason Miller, they were preparing for moments like this.
Mullins runs, pitch inside, Diaz throw, no chance to get him, a stolen base. So there goes your opportunity at a ground ball double play. Although with Mason Miller on the mound, it's quite often something other than a ground ball. More likely a swing and a miss or a pop. Either way, you got a guy on second, 1 out. 1-1 to Soto. Miller is ready to pitch. Soto swings and tips it into the catcher's mid, strike 2. That was 103 right down the middle. And Soto could not square it up.
Your best versus my best. Miller up 1-2.
And now he can do whatever he wants, right? And blow him away, 104 up out of the zone to throw one of those nasty sliders.
He certainly has to locate the slider, considering the fastball has already sped up Soto's bat.
1-2 to Soto. Runner on second, 1 out. The pitch is taken in the dirt. It was the slider. And the count now 2-2.
That's where it had to be. And you've already gassed up 101, 103. The hitter is prepared for that. So even a slider that's in the plate in the zone can end up being a bad pitch there.
Two and two. The pitch to Soto in the air to left field. Laureano going back into the corner, looking up, and it is foul. Oh my goodness! Wow. That is as close as it could possibly be to left field at Citi Field. Just to the left of the foul pole. It had the home run distance.
It's a foul ball, but they're going to crew chief review this one again. Why? And if you're the Mets, why not?
The call on the field is a foul ball. This is a crew chief review for a potential home run.
Oh, my God. Now, we have a really good look at the left field corner here, which is very unusual from the booths. And it did appear to be foul, but I'm talking, man, inches.
Inches.
You hear the crowd reacting to the replay that they are seeing. And, I mean, I honestly don't know how it didn't hit the pole. That's how close it was. This Crew Chief Review presented by Silverstrand Technology, powering smart plays and smarter systems. Silverstrand Technology, your experts in commercial security. Visit silverstrand.com. Now, let me say one thing. They have, the foul pole does not go all the way down into the ground. It kind of has a base. And the base, like the pole itself, is orange. It's a metal base. And the ball might have hit the base, but I think part of the base is in foul territory, which is a big mistake.
The base is bigger than the actual pole. So I don't know what the exact ruling of it would be, but it would seem that then everybody should just make their base a whole lot bigger at the bottom in order to maybe catch a call here.
Right, because the base can't be part of the pole, can it?
I wouldn't think so.
After review, the call is confirmed. It is a foul ball.
They had a really good replay they showed right before Alan Porter made the announcement. I mean, right down the line, and credit to Citi Field for actually having a camera pointing that way. It's not always the case.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, it's as close as it could possibly be. So still 2-2 on Soto. You got Mullins at second base with one out. Padres ahead 6-4. And this has been one of them Russian novel kind of nights here in New York with the Padres and the Mets. All the twists and turns. The 2-2, Soto takes strike three, called on the outside corner. Backed up the slider and punched him out. 2 away in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Talk about the perfect pitch. Mason Miller goes backdoor slider and splits the black to get Juan Soto looking. He had to earn that punchy.
Now Alonso, another heavyweight bout. Tying run at the plate, 2 out, 7th inning. First pitch is a slider, and it looked good, but called the ball maybe low, maybe inside. And 1-0 to Alonso. He's only faced Mason Miller once before in his career. Mullins at second, 2 outs. Padres lead at 6-4. Here's the pitch on the way. And Alonso has his knees buckled by that slider. It drops in for a strike, 1-1.
It almost seemed like just watching Soto's at bat, they're not even worried about the slider. They're only hacking at the heater.
1-1. Alonso takes another slider and another strike. It's 1-2.
Pete Alonso has seen 3 sliders and hasn't even looked like he is interested in swinging at it. I get it. When a guy is throwing this hard, you got to pick one. Seems like Soto picked the heater, did not offer at a slider, and we've seen Alonso not even put the bat off his shoulder on 3 sliders.
1-2 now with Mullins at second, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And Alonso swings and misses. Strike 3. Back with the slider to get him. And Mason Miller comes out of the bullpen to get Soto and Alonso and send us to the 8th. Padres lead at 6-4 on the Padres Radio Network. offensively to add to this 6-4 lead. Elias Diaz to start things off, then Tatis and Arise. And first pitch swinging and missing. Diaz can't connect with a fastball from the new Met pitcher, Ryan Helsley. And boy, if you thought Gregory Soto was having a tough time with his new team, that ain't nothing compared to the struggles that Helsley has had. He got introduced to the crowd here, and there was almost a groan that you could hear. I didn't hear a single person clap or cheer when his name was announced. Here's the 0-1, and Diaz sends it foul in the air behind home plate, 0-2. They have, like a lot of high-leverage relievers, a whole video production with the pyrotechnics when a guy comes in, and they've stopped doing the video and the pyrotechnics for Helsley. That's a pretty good sign it's not gone great. 0-2 the pitch. And Diaz takes a little bit off the plate outside, 1-2.
And when it becomes hard to play the hype video or tough to justify it, you know it's not going well.
One and two to Diaz, and Helsley's pitch bounces in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The big swing tonight, a Manny Machado grand slam in the 5th inning. That made it 6-2. It is now 6-4 Padres in this 8th inning. Helsley relieves Soto, who had an adventurous 7, but was able to strand the bases loaded. 2-2 to Elias Diaz. Helsley ready. Here's the pitch on the way. And Elias hits a slow chopper towards third. That is a foul ball. And the at-bat will continue here. A lot of traffic. Both teams. Padres 6 runs, 10 hits. The Mets 4 runs, 8 hits. Padres 4 for 8 with runners in scoring position. A 1 hit away last inning from really perhaps putting some good distance again between themselves and the Mets. Here's the 2-2. Diaz takes low and outside, ball 3.
From 0-2 to 3-2. Diaz putting together a nice AB. 7th pitch of this at-bat coming.
Helsley, as a Cardinal this year, had a 3 ERA. One of the best relievers, hardest throwers in baseball. As Diaz sends one to the air, high and deep to left center field. Mullins, long run, going to get there and reach out to make the catch for the first out of the inning. He struck it well, but 1 down as the order turns over. So yeah, Helsley, a 3 ERA with the Cardinals this year, bunch of strikeouts. As a Met, this is his 18th appearance. His ERA is over 10.
Once again, that ball kind of hung up. Allowed Mullins to kind of run underneath it, track it down. Round number 1.
Here's Fernando. Officially 2 for 3, been safely aboard 3 times tonight, scored 2 of the Padre runs. Tried to check on a slider way outside, and he did. Wow. 1-0. Helsley set the pitch. And Tatis flinches at the slider that is outside, but called a strike. 1-1.
Yes, it evens itself out.
On a strike to Tatis, 1 out, nobody on. Here's the pitch from Helsley, and Fernando takes another slider, this time in the same exact spot to call the ball. And it goes to 2-1. And the question becomes, are they booing Helsley or are they booing the plate umpire, Chris Sigue? Maybe both. 2-1 the pitch. And Tatis again checks on a ball in the dirt, and it'll go to 3-1. This really has felt a lot like a playoff game with all the twists and the turns and the drama and the big names and the big-time showdowns. 3-1, here it comes. And Fernando takes a slider for a strike at the knees. That'll fill the count, 3-2.
5 straight. All sliders here to Toddy.
Here's a rise on deck. Manny Machado would be next. Manny, great career numbers against Helsley. 3-2, Fernando takes low, ball 4. 98-mile-an-hour fastball closer to the dirt than the knees. And Tatis aboard for the 4th time tonight, a one-out walk here in the 8th inning.
Good AB from Toddy. Works the walk, moves the line for Luis Arraez.
So it'll be Arraez, where the man on first, one out. And again, it was Luis's base hit in the 6th inning that looked like it was going to score Elias Diaz. But Diaz did not cross home plate before. Well, they got Fernando picked off. Throw to first. Alonso up to second. Fernando racing back towards first. Lindor trying to track him down. Gets it back to Alonso, who tags him out 2 away. And boy, with a rise at the dish, the Padres make another out on the bases. Now Fernando talking to the first base umpire, Alex McKay, about something. Presumably he thought it was a ball. And obviously they did not call that. Mike Schilt now kind of realizing all the way on the other side of the third base dugout that Fernando's face to face with the umpire. It's a calm conversation.
Yeah, it's not a heated one. It's almost kind of getting some clarification. Toddy heads back. A couple of base running mistakes for the Padres here in this ball game. Certainly hope they don't come back to bite them.
Schilt's conversation is over. I guess Tatis caught stealing.
I think Toddy was trying to get interference here.
Oh, yeah. Alonso was...
It was close.
Yeah, he was in his way.
Had he not received the ball, if he'd have received it a hair late, he might have been able to get that call.
Yeah, that's a good pull. So 2 outs, nobody on, and Arraez takes low ball 1. I don't think Alonso was supposed to be the guy receiving that throw either. He kind of put himself in a monkey in the middle kind of position.
Typically, he's going to get out, but maybe with the pitcher being the next guy who had to receive it, Alonso kind of made a decision on his own.
Arraez pops it up, foul ground, third base. Beatty, long way to go, won't have room. It'll come down beyond the dugout and the seats out of play. 1-1 on Arraez. Yeah, the pitcher Helsley was waiting at first base for the throw from Lindor, and Alonso was kind of a couple of feet in the baseline away from first base when he got that throw and tagged Tatis out, and you're exactly right. I'm sure that Fernando thought perhaps Alonso was in his way. Here's the 1-1, and Arraez swings and misses with a high fastball, strike 2.
I think typically your infield instructors will tell you if you can keep the pitcher out of the rundown, by all means do so. But that is kind of the trade-off, is you got to make sure you're in position that you don't end up getting an interference call.
You also even wonder if Alonso realized the pitcher was behind him, or if he thought, I got to make this play. Here's the 1-2, and Arraez pops it up again towards the third base dugout and just into the seats. 6-4 Padres in the 8th, but yet twice now with Luis Arraez as the batter, the Padres have made a crucial out on the base paths. Diaz not scoring in the 6th inning, then Fernando being caught here in the 8th. Padres with a 2-run lead. Miller going to go back out in the bottom of the inning. 1-2 to Arraez is golfed on a line right at Soto in right field. He's there to make the catch and end the inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left after 7.5. It's the Padres 6 and the Mets 4 on the Padres Radio Network.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager said the following.
I really don't know what to say.
First pitch swinging and a foul ball straight back. 0-1. Miller came on with a runner aboard, 1 out last inning, and struck out Soto and Alonso. All of that followed a home run by Francisco Alvarez off of Jeremiah Estrada. Mets have 4 runs tonight. They have come on 4 solo homers. Pitch to Nimmo is up and away, 1-1. And look, Mason Miller, from a pitch count perspective, is in a fine place right now. But it is always, or at least at times, a little fuzzy when you're asking one of these late inning guys to get a couple of outs, go to the bench, sit down, and come back out. See how it goes as Nimmo takes a slider for a strike, 1-2.
We are at the time of the year where you can throw all that out the window. The Padres have played it relatively safe with all of their guys throughout the year, and this is the time to kind of unleash them.
No doubt. It's a no-brainer decision. You just know that it can be a thing. Foul back, still 1-2. Although Miller has seemed completely unbothered by everything since his arrival.
And here 1-2 to Nimmo.
Pitch on the way. Nimmo in the air to right field. That's well struck. Fernando kind of twisting back. He's on the track. He's got room. And he reaches up to make the catch, 1 out. Nimmo gave it a good ride out to right, but Fernando making the catch in front of the 370 marker. And 1 away in the bottom of the 8th inning for Starling Marte, who hit the second of the 4 net home runs back in the 4th inning.
That's one of those sliders. Didn't quite execute it the way he wanted, but Nimmo gave it a ride, but short for out number 1.
First pitch to Marte is a slider for a strike. So Miller has gotten 3 outs. Padres are asking him for 2 more to give Robert Suarez a clean 9. Although Suarez is stalking around in the bullpen already. Pitch to Marte on the ground right side. It is fielded by Arise way off the line. He will race Marte to the bag and win the race 2 down. If you've been paying attention the last couple of months, you know that if Arise is ever able to bring it himself, he will. Even if it's a 30-foot run as it was there. Reminder to stay tuned. The Hamul Casino Resort postgame show with Sam comes up immediately following the game tonight. Base is empty, 2 outs. Jeff McNeil will stand in. Padres 6, Mets 4. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Left-handed batter takes, and the slider backs up, misses outside, 1-0. McNeil 0 for 3 on the night. He has been the victim of a couple of really nice defensive plays. Pops this one up, foul ground third base. Manny racing over to that side railing. A lot of room there, gets there to make the catch and end the inning. For just the second time tonight, the Mets go 1-2-3 and will head to the 9th. Padres lead it 6-4 on the Padres Radio Network.
Hey, San Diego, is your roof ready for the 9th inning? At Dana Logsden Roofing and Solar, we're hitting homeowners with a free roof evaluation. Don't let a leak throw you a curveball. Step up to the plate and schedule now at roofon.com.
Great moments in baseball have been brought
Another guy who's had some struggles as of late for the Mets. And he stands in 3 for 4 with a grand slam. First pitch on the way, swing and a miss. That slam obviously the biggest swing of the night. Machado put the Padres up 6-2 in the 5th inning with 1 swing. And cashed in a big-time opportunity against the starter, David Peterson. 0-1. Manny stings this one out to right center. Mullins, long run on the move, reaches out to make the catch. Nicely done. 1 away in the 9th. And we'll pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Padres Radio Network.
KWFN and KWFN HD1 San Diego.
Hi, this is Michael King. The Padres play here on San Diego's #1 station, 97.3 The Fan.
Facing Ryan Stanek. And first pitch is a slider strike. Machado's grand slam, his 14th career grand slam. Most among all active players in MLB. That's something to smile about. Brought to you by Smile Spirits. 0-1. And Sheets fouls it off Alvarez. Real vodka cocktails, not a boring seltzer. Available at smilespirits.com. Can get bottle or swing by Baja Rick's before the game and enjoy Smile Spirits before first pitch. Smile Spirits, making San Diego smile. Padres with a 2-run lead. 1 out, nobody on in the top of the 9th inning. 0-2, Sheets swings and misses strike 3. 100-mile-an-hour heater past him. And 2 down for Ramon Laureano.
High fuzz gets Sheeter to chase for out number 2.
Laureano 1 out of 3 with a single and a walk. Trying to get himself going again. A single, a hard hit liner his last time up. And he takes a slider for a strike, 0-1. Suarez warming. Mets will have the bottom of the order in the bottom of the 9th. Beatty, Alvarez, and Mullins. 0-1. Laureano steps into it, hits it in the air, deep down the left field line, and gone! A home run! Ramon Laureano with a little breathing room in the top of the 9th inning. His 9th home run as a Padre, his 24th of the year, and it is now 7-4.
Razor Ramon with a sharp liner down that left field line. Gives the Padres a little bit of insurance here. Hits the solo shot just over that left field wall on a line. 7-4 here in the 9th.
A razor laser. That insurance run brought to you by Pine Solomon Personal Injury Lawyers. Merrill stands in, fouls it back. Don't let any insurance company convince you that's enough. The local San Diego lawyers at Pine Solomon pursue the compensation you deserve. Learn more at SeriousAccidents.com.
Talk about getting yourself going.
Merrill swings and misses strike 2.
A walk, a single, a homer, all in consecutive at-bats for Ramon Laureano.
And again, a single, kind of a hard hit line drive, not a little dribbler. Maybe Laureano clicking back in. 0-2, and Merrill fouls it back. I'm going to try and remember for tomorrow. Look up guys who have been traded at the deadline. Who's hit the most home runs for their new team? I mean, it's got to be Laureano, or he's got to be close.
I mean, Beltran's probably going to be in there somewhere. Are you talking about this year or
this
overall?
Year, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Now, I don't know that anybody's having the type of
Merrill takes low 1-2
deadline numbers that Ramon Laureano's having right now.
One and 2, and Merrill takes low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Laureano's career year continues. 24th home run ties his career high. Merrill fouls one back. Jackson fell behind here, but full battle mode against Ryan Stanek. Laureano hit 24 as a member of the Oakland A's back in 2019. 2-2 to Merrill. Here's the pitch, and Jackson hits it hard on the ground right side under the glove of Alonso and trickling out into right field. hologram, and I got a little leather on it. Jackson Merrill with his second hit of the night. And back-to-back 2-out hits here against Stanek in the ninth inning. And a board for Jose Iglesias.
Definitely got some leather on it, but it was just hit too hard. 101 off the bat. Gets under just the diving glove of Pete Alonso. Little 2-out knock.
Padres have gotten a run back after the Alvarez homer in the seventh inning, looking for more. Iglesias takes high, ball one. 7-4 San Diego here in the ninth inning. Padres have hit 5 home runs now in the first 2 games of this series. None bigger than the Machado slam back in the 5th. Here's the 1-0, and Iglesias takes a strike. 98 pretty much right down the middle, 1-1. Pitch on the way, and Iglesias high chopper to shortstop. Lindor waits on it, has it, and the throw to first is in time to end the inning, but the Padres able to add on thanks to the Laureano home run. And we go to the bottom of the ninth at Citi Field in New York. Padres 7, Mets 4 on the Padres Radio Network.
Hey, player. The all-new Jamul Casino Resort is all yours. The hotel tower with some seriously luxurious suites. The super secret speak.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager said the following.
I really don't know what to say. I'm just so happy I gave something these people cheer. We all did. I mean, it was a great game. Both teams played incredible. It was a great game.
That's Mike Piazza after he hit an 8th inning go-ahead home run in the first New York Mets home game after 9/11. Hear moments like this and more on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizard. Go crazy.
Catch the next unforgettable call on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Let's see if you can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Oppo Taco. Do you know what it means? Oppo Taco, a home run hit to the opposite field.
Austin Hayes with an Oppo Taco. His 13th, and it's a 1-run game.
Expand your vocabulary by listening to every game on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Opinions and offers expressed are not those of Odyssey Incorporated, nor 97.3 The Fan.
Bottom of the ninth at Citi Field in New York. Padres 7, Mets 4. Bottom of the order coming up for New York against the Padre closer Robert Suarez. Takes over for Mason Miller, who went 5 up, 5 down with strikeouts of Soto and Alonso. Pitching change brought to you by Sid's Carpet Barn. Sid's Carpet Barn stands alone as San Diego's floor covering leader. From a huge selection of premium high-end choices to quality budget-friendly options, Sid's has start of the ninth inning. Brett Beatty leads off. Left-handed hitter, 2 for 3 with a double, and he takes inside, ball 1.
Yeah, Mason doing a terrific job coming in and really getting out of a tough jam. And then Laureano with the little insurance run in the ninth.
Pitch on the way, and a swing and a miss. Beatty chased a high fastball, and the count evens 1-1. That's Beatty, then Alvarez, and Mullins here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Time called by Beatty. One and one. Suarez, a long look into Diaz. Now the Padre closer set and ready. And the pitch to Beatty is on the outside corner at 99, 1-2.
Top of the zone. Quickly ahead, 1-2.
Suarez is ready to pitch, and Beatty takes in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Suarez, 38 saves on the year, most in the National League. Tyler McGill of the Brewers is second in the NL with 30. Carlos Estevez of Kansas City has 39. And Suarez an opportunity to tie him tonight for the Major League lead. Here's the 2-2. Beatty swings and knocks it foul into the net behind home plate. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's a piece of that four-seamer. Able to foul it off. See if he goes back in that same area with maybe the changeup.
Two. Beatty swings and fouls it straight back. Challenged him with a heater.
Tried to come in there. Didn't get it all the way in, but got it in enough. Foul ball. We'll do it again.
Beatty facing Robert for the first time in his Major League career. Padres up 7-4 in the bottom of the 9th inning. 2-2 the pitch. Beatty hits it on a line off of Machado into left and a base hit. It was hard hit. Manny diving to his left, couldn't make the play. And the leadoff man aboard, Beatty with his 3rd hit of the night.
It's been good tonight. It's good last night, had the homer. Able to shoot the fastball just past the dive of Manny Machado.
So the left-handed hitter reaches. Now the right-hand hitting Alvarez stands in. Suarez this year has really given right-handed hitters fits. They are hitting 148 against him, 18 out of 122. Alvarez 0 for 1 in his career against Suarez. Padres by 3, and Alvarez fouls the first one back, strike 1. Alvarez, the home run off the wall, literally, in right center his last time up. Crowd of 41,783 here in Queens. Making noise in the ninth. The 0-1 pitch is grounded foul left side. Alvarez caught that off the foot of the leg. And now 0-2.
Those thumbs right now are buzzing. Got in on those hands. He's feeling that. That's one of those swings that can blow your thumb up, have it swollen.
And he's dealt with so much hand and wrist stuff this year.
You can tell that one hurt.
Runner on first, nobody out, bottom 9. Padres with a 3-run lead. 0-2, Suarez deals, and a ground ball back to the mound. Suarez has it go off the glove, picks it up. Underhand flip to arise in time to get Alvarez. So 1 away, Beatty advances to second. And in a 3-run game, it's not the end of the world, but Suarez certainly had a chance to, at the very least, cut down the lead runner there, if not start a double play.
Does get an out, which is important with a 3-run lead. Looks like we'll see a pinch hitter here.
Mark Vientos will stand in for Mullins. And so Elias Diaz, the Padre catcher, will go out and chat. As will pitching coach Ruben Niebla. Vientos started the game last night for the Mets. He was the designated hitter. They used Starling Marte in that role here tonight. He was 0 for 4 with a strikeout, also grounded into a double play. On the year, Vientos hitting .237, 17 homers, 58 RBIs. And this is your reminder that after Vientos is Lindor and potentially Soto and potentially Alonso.
And unless Vientos lines into a double play, you're going to see one of those guys. Better to see him with Vientos retired than with him on. So this is a big AB to say the least.
Seven for Padres, bottom of the 9th inning. Mets have Beatty at second, 1 out. And the pinch hitter Vientos getting ready to stand in after the mound visit. Long night at Citi Field. Day game tomorrow. Padres hoping it'll be a rubber game. First pitch. And Vientos takes a little bit in, 1-0. Padres with a win tonight would also clinch the season series from the Mets. Remember, they swept all 3 games at Petco back at the end of July. That's an 8-3 win last night. Padres up 7-4 here tonight. Pitch on the way. Vientos fouls it back towards us.
Good rip on the sinker there.
One and one to the pinch hitter. Vientos hitting for Mullins. He struck out twice, walked and stole a bag. 1-1, the pitch. Vientos swings and misses at a changeup, strike two.
Good location there from Robert Suarez. On a 10-mile-per-hour difference in speed, and then puts it at the bottom of the zone to move ahead 1-2.
Beatty leads at second base, 1-2 to Vientos. Here's the pitch from Suarez, swung on, popped up, foul out of play right side, and the battle will continue. Beatty began the inning with a 7-pitch battle with Suarez, and now Vientos working the foul ball game as well. 1-2. Suarez set. Here's the pitch. Vientos swings, grounds it slowly to third base. Manny charges it, has it, gets rid of it quickly, and in time at first base. 2 down in the 9th inning. Beatty stays put at second, and one of those plays that Manny made look way easier than it actually was.
Slow roller certainly helped that Vientos doesn't get down the line quickly. Manny able to glove it. Strong throw for out number 2.
So Lindor will stand in, batting left-handed against Suarez. Beatty at second, 2 outs. Padres lead 7-4 in the bottom of the 9th inning. A look back at second. Suarez delivers, and the first pitch changeup misses a bit outside to Lindor, ball 1. That shortstop 0 for 4 in his career against Robert Suarez with a couple of strikeouts. That includes one face-off in the wild card series here 3 years ago. 1-0 the pitch. And Lindor takes up and away. 2 balls, no strikes.
It's the guy you want. Certainly considering who's on deck and what it would mean if you were facing Soto. That would obviously mean Lindor got on.
And it would mean that Soto is representing the tying run. 2-0 to Lindor. Beatty at second, 2 outs. The pitch is taken, and a fastball strike at 100 miles an hour, 2-1. Nick Pivetta gave up 3. Estrada gave up 1. Suarez trying to close the door here in the 9th. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And Lindor takes outside, ball 3. There's a 7-4 lead in the bottom of the 9th inning, but the Mets got the lead single from Beatty. And now Lindor in the driver's seat, 3 balls and a strike. Suarez is set and ready. Here's the pitch. Lindor swings and misses, strike 2.
Heater versus power. 3-1. Lindor looking for the heater. Got it. Suarez blows it by him. Count moves to 3-2.
Here's the payoff pitch. Lindor takes low, ball 4, and Juan Soto will come to bat, representing the potential tying run with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. They have never faced off head-to-head. Teammates for a couple of years, of course, in San Diego. And now Soto and Suarez with the game on the line. First pitch. Swung on and hit foul in the air behind home plate. 0-1 on Soto.
Tardy on that.
First home run back in the 5th.
A little tardy on that 1-0-1. 0-0 fastball. Suarez gets ahead. Got to make sure you execute location, specifically against Soto.
0-1 to the left-hand hitter inside. 100 miles an hour. Had Soto bending back and backpedaling out of the way. 1-1. Two on and 2 out. with the Padres ahead by 3 in the bottom of the 9th inning. Lindor at first, Beatty at second. 1-1 to Soto. Suarez over 20 pitches. This one to Soto is taken, just a little bit low. Spit on the changeup, and the count now 2 balls and a strike.
It's where you wanted that changeup. Had to be in that particular area, just missed below the zone.
2-1 now. The pitch, and Soto takes on the outside corner. Came back with the changeup and just hit the edge of the zone. Count is even 2-2.
Great execution there, 2-1. Goes right back to it. Brings it up just a hair and catches the outside corner. Count now 2-2.
So the Mets down to their final strike with Lindor at first, Beatty at second. 2-2 to Juan Soto. Suarez, a long look into Diaz. Now he's set. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Soto swings, lines it right back to Suarez. He knocks it down, picks it up, throws to first in time, and the ball game is over. Robert Suarez, an eventful but effective 9th inning, picks up his 39th save of the year to move into a tie for the Major League lead, and the Padres, behind a Manny Machado grand slam, beat the Mets tonight 7-4 and set up a rubber game here tomorrow afternoon. Nothing came easy here tonight. The Padres do the job and win Game 2 of this series. Take a break, come back, give you some final thoughts and the totals on the Padres Radio Network.
Nobody likes an old, yuck, ugly bathroom, so contact Miramar